Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Hope you all had a great weekend. I hope you had a great weekend. I had an outstanding weekend myself. You know what? I got a chance to get a little rest this weekend. Don't get a chance to do that often. And Sunday was my rest day. Sunday was my rest day. I was actually able to lay it down and get a little rest and enjoy and enjoy this sleep, man. I laid down Sunday, had my grandkids there. You know, they my grandkids allowed me to rest this Sunday. Can you believe that? A 2 and a 4 year old just turned 4. Allowed people to lay down and get some rest. Boy, I tell you, it was good. It was good to have. I laid down. I had an opportunity to just get some rest, and the wifey she let me sleep in, and man, I had a good time. I slept all the way up until about 12 o'clock. You know, I had to get up at 12. You know, I had to get ready for the games. You know, the football games come on Sunday. So my Steelers didn't play this weekend. Let me see. Hold on, what is going on with my thing here? Make sure I got everything up and running. Make sure I'm hold on. This is this. This is this. This is this. Okay, get that right there. There we go. Bingo. Now we cooking with grease. Now we cook. Can't you know what? I realized a long time ago you can't fry that chicken in water. You can't fry it in water. Now we got okay. Now everything is up and running. So how was you all's weekend? Give us a call. The phone lines are open 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. The phone lines are open. Give us a call. We definitely love to hear from you as well. We got a topic we're going to talk about today. We got a topic we're going to talk about today. I don't want to pull the plug on the topic just yet. I want to give everybody an opportunity to get in here. And once they get in here, we'll pull the plug and launch this topic. I think it's gonna be good. I think you all gonna really enjoy the topic of today. Excuse me. I think y'all really gonna enjoy the topic of the day. But in the meantime, I want to talk about a couple of things. They had here in Georgia. The world is really looking at Georgia right now. The world is really has their eye on Georgia, and one of the reasons why because of the runoff that they're having this runoff um for the Senate seat. They're having a runoff for the Senate seat here in Georgia. They have two different people running to try to get in the Senate for the U.S. Congress. And if that were to happen, if for whatever reason the Democrats were to win, we'll have a brand new day, y'all. It'll be a brand new day. It's gonna be trying. It's gonna be really trying to get it done. You got a lot of people that don't want to see it happen. It's certainly now that you have a Biden and a Harris ticket, they don't want to see the Congress getting taken over by the Democratic Party because if it does, um, there's going to be a lot of changes from the last 4 years. There's going to be a lot of changes from the last 4 years. We got Adrian here, but he hold on. We got Adrian. Adrian is here with us, but he got some music going on in the background. I don't know what Adrian got going on over there, but Adrian is with us now, and then we're gonna have a few other people that's gonna come in as well. But my thing is, I know where my vote is going to be. I know where my vote is going to be dealing with this whole election thing. I looked at the debate yesterday, and in looking at the debate yesterday, I'm gonna tell you something. The young lady, and I her name escapes me. Her name escapes me, but I can't see what she did anything or answered any other questions. She had bullet point notes that she resorted back to, and every time they asked her a question that she wasn't familiar with or that she didn't know, and she was almost like a deer in headlights. And but when they asked her a question that she wasn't familiar with or didn't know about, she would resort back to those same bullet point notes, and she said it over and over and over. And as I was looking, I saw some Republicans that was actually on social media that was saying she's not doing very well. She's not doing very well, and so that's the thing with me. She wasn't doing well. Um, what's the no, man? These names, it must be too early in the morning for me to get these names. But a few Warnock, that's his name. Warnock was trying to answer the questions as best that he could, and he was sticking to the question. But she Leffler, I think her name is Leffler. I'm waking up. I ain't had my coffee yet. I think her name is Leffler, but she wasn't answering any other questions at all. She was not answering any other questions. She had bullet point notes, and she was sticking to those bullet point notes. She called him a this and called him a that, And one thing that she would always go back to, the one thing she would always go back to is calling saying that he want to defund the police. That was the one point that she went back to time after time after time. He wants to defund the police. He addressed that toward the beginning. He addressed the fact that he did not want to defund the police, told her exactly what it was and what it meant. I think he was actually trying to educate her on what the whole terminology, what the whole verbiage meant about defund the police. This does not mean we're taking money from the police. It doesn't mean that at all. Adrian, good morning. How you doing, sir?
Good morning, everybody. Very blessed this morning. How you doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. I ain't know what you were doing over there, man. First time I pulled you up, I saw a chair. I said,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I said, Adrian's chair is here, but Adrian ain't here, but his chair is here. Um, I was
yeah.
I was talking about the debate that they had yesterday about the Congress, the congressional seats that's available, and Warlock and Leffler. They had their debate yesterday. Purdue and Oslop. Purdue didn't want to debate. He for whatever reason he decided not to debate. Hold on for a second. Let me get this phone line here. For whatever reason, he decided not to debate and not to go in with the debate. And so that was kind of sketchy to me that he chose not to do it this late in the game. It seems as though he would want to go in and have the debate at this point of the game, but they did it yesterday on Warlock and on I can't remember this girl name, Leffler, whatever her name is.
Loeffler. Her name is pronounced Loeffler.
Yeah,
Okay. Yep.
but she had bullet point notes that she resorted back to every time. Every time
Okay.
she resorted right back to those bullet point notes. And one of the notes that she thought, I guess she thought was going to be the best thing for her, but she kept saying that he wanted to defund the police. And there was a point in time at the beginning of the debate where more like he actually told her, and I think he had to explain to her what that meant.
Right.
And I was like, wow, this young lady, who placed her there? Who placed
Yeah.
her there? And that's it looked like she was a plant just to have somebody in that position because she looked like a deer in headlights, man. Like she just wasn't there.
Right.
And that was very disheartening to me to see that they would put somebody in a situation like that in a position and want her to be in a position that's so important and her not be qualified to do so. What do you say to that?
Well, I'll say a few things here. Number one, things such as trigger words, such as defund the police, that ain't nothing but scare tactics.
That's all.
They're trying to get propaganda going. And she's being used as a puppet, such as Sarah Palin was being used as a puppet out of the state of Alaska. Okay. And when this don't go the way they want it to go, all of a sudden, a boot gonna be on her neck. Now we know what defund the police say. And I'ma actually quote a Republican, the lieutenant governor of the great state of Georgia, when he clearly and fairly said the other day that not only, and I'll say this, not to support Biden or discredit, Joe Biden won the election, number one. Number two, this is still America and the Constitution still stands. I read it on the news. And that Republicans still have a right, no matter who controls the majority, to defend the Constitution and to disagree across the aisle with Democrats. And there's a diplomatic and a civilized way to do that. So whether or not this young lady or Reverend Bishop Warnock go to the Senate seat to represent Georgia, and whether or not it's blue across the board, okay, a majority shift of blue in power in Washington, okay. What we have to understand is bipartisanship is very important in Washington and in many things in life. And to have a puppet sat into a position so that, I can get the black votes or the minority votes or the women votes or whatever it is. That is a very unfortunate situation to use somebody who, like you say, is not knowledgeable and not abreast on situations, what's going on right here in our America, okay, and to have them at a place to make such critical decisions. Because all they're going to be is a yes man or a yes woman, a puppet.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to be. That's exactly what they're going to be, a puppet. And like I say, that's unfortunate because you're speaking for the people. You're supposed to be speaking for the people of Georgia. And if the people of Georgia will place you in a situation like that, knowing that you're not qualified, you hate to say it like this, but you get what you ask for. You get what you ask for. And so
A
that
carrot being dangled in front of her like a mule. A
mm-hmm.
Georgia mule down there in South Georgia. And I know this sound real country. It sound real country on a Monday morning with all these new aristocratic sedated people. But all that happening is a carrot it being dangled in front of this lady. And they pulling along. And like I say, when that carrot fall, a boot gonna be on her neck.
Yes,
Take
sir.
it to the bank.
Exactly. We got a caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning, Raheem. Morning, Glow family.
Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing just fine.
What do you think about that whole situation that happened with the runoff debate? Leonard, what's on your heart? Did you look at any of it, man? What did you think about it?
I mean, it just shows really, how low people will go. I don't care for the woman. She wasn't elected by anybody. She was appointed by another horrible individual as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they birds of a feather flock together, shoot them all down.
Wow. Wow. What do you think, Leonard? Do you think she's qualified?
No, she never. I mean, yes, she qualified. That don't mean she know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
She was appointed by a guy that ain't qualified to do that don't know a whole lot.
Yeah.
So, it don't matter. It's just like somebody going in and appointing their girlfriend to a position because she's screwing them.
Yeah.
Do it,
Leonard. That's just the truth. That's just and what she was doing yesterday. She was and I say this again. She's like a agent over there having a simple ball. But she what it is, man. She was like a deer in the headlights. Like looking at that debate yesterday, she was like a deer in the headlights, man. And she went to certain bullet point notes, and the one thing that she kept going to over and over and over again, Warlock is going to defund the police. That's all she kept saying. The whole debate.
But she did what she was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't fault her for that.
Yeah.
She's a part of that. She's a part of that thing, and that's what they're going to do. That's what you should expect. They have very little character or any type of ethical characteristics about them. Mm-hmm. They'll do anything for money.
Wow. And how sad is that? Go ahead, Adrian. You got something?
Yeah, I got something that just came to my mind as we're talking about this debate. And I think about Bishop Warnock and his ideals of faith, IDEALS, and I had to look this up the other day, no lie. His ideals of faith that causes him to run in this election in this type of seat, okay? Mm-hmm. The man is a senior pastor of America's Freedom Church. If y'all didn't know, Ebenezer is a historic freedom church. And it's not only freedom for blacks and slaves and minorities, but it's freedom for everybody, because white people were treated like crap back in the day too. Let's just be honest. So when you got somebody going to a senatorial position in Washington to represent a state like Georgia, they have to keep in mind that the faith at which we strive for perfection, to treat our fellow man fairly, to do what's in the best interest of people through faith. Because truth doesn't matter. Anybody that you get up there in this seat, you don't know if they're going to go left, right, up, down, and anything else. All we can do is have faith in them, that they will do what is in our best interest. And no lie, I do believe that Warnock has that best interest in hand. Okay.
And it just come across as if he cares. It's like he cares, man. And I don't see that she cares. I think that she's acting like Leonard said, trying to match up to an agenda that they have, and they will place anybody in that particular seat that will match up to lack of a better term, match up to the agenda that they're trying to accomplish. Leonard, what do you say to that?
Well, I've worked with Reverend Warnock on various occasions, worked at his church, associate pastors as well. And, he's been doing this for some time. So this man actually works in the community, does everything that's needed in the community as far as uplifting people, reaches out, various outreach ministries at his church. I mean, as he mentioned before, his resource center, educational resource center, is an awesome resource for that community where Ebenezer is. So, I know him. I've worked with him before. He's a good dude. I mean, that's what he does all the time anyway. Mm-hmm. When he ain't running, before he was running for office, he is actually doing exactly what he was talking about last night.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was quite evident who's for the people of Georgia. That woman never said anything really about the people of Georgia.
No, she didn't. And one of the things that that they pressed her on, and I was glad to see them do this, the situation between Trump and Kemp. They asked her about that. Whose side are you going to be on? Because Trump has come out against your governor, and he's talking real bad about your governor, saying that he even hate that he even endorsed him, saying he don't have a backbone. He's talking very badly right now. Trump is talking very badly about Kemp, and they asked her, "What side are you with?" Go ahead, Adrian.
You know what? If that right there don't prove double tongue, I got my whiteboard here so I can write down notes so I don't forget nothing.
Okay.
If that don't prove double tonguedness in the Republican Party,
Mm-hmm.
and Trump couldn't kick and have his way, 1 second he gonna endorse the man to turn red for the state, and then when stuff ain't going his way after the man done stole the election from that Stacey Abrams,
Mm-hmm.
now he got to be clean. Kemp got to be clean because it would prove what he did in Georgia. And now that Trump is against him, okay, really, that's double tongue. That's corruption in its purest form. If it ain't no other way to say it, Hitler ain't worse. Adolf Hitler is not worse. That and Mussolini, that is pure corruption, underhanded backbiting. And this lady, what we need to do as a state of Georgia, I don't care if you red, if you blue, green, yellow, no other color. We need to stand united, and we need to send a message to Washington, to America, and to the world that we will not be bullied. We will not have somebody coming down in the state of Georgia trying to tell us what to do and trying to bully us and strong arm us. We are not weak Georgians. I'm a strong Georgian. You best believe it. I'll go toe to toe and tooth and nail with you. And she get that backbone too, just like Warnock.
Good deal. Leonard, what do you say to that, man? They asked her the question, who are you standing with? And she hesitated, and still it is now 7:26 a.m. the next day, and she still haven't answered the question. Leonard, what do you say to that?
Well, she wasn't supposed to answer the question. So I don't, like I say, I'm not, nothing just drives me insane about the lady. Really, I mean, she did exactly what she was expected. She did it poorly. She's not a good public speaker, and so she never anticipated that question. But her loyalty is to a pimp, and that right now that's Kim.
Yeah. If she's for the Georgia people, like she says she is, her loyalty would be to Kemp, because Kemp is representing the state of Georgia. And so if she go to Congress, if she get that seat, she should be representing the people of Georgia. And so
she was given no instruction on how to deal with that question.
Yeah. But isn't that like an elephant in the room though? That should have been for them. That should have been an elephant in the room, because you know what the climate is right now. Trump came here and he talked bad about Kemp even when he was here. Talked bad about Kemp even before he got here. So why would they not ask her that question in a debate?
Well, first of all, the moderators did a great job.
Yes.
However, you have to realize what's going on. That doesn't change. The agenda don't change. You see, David Perdue is so disgusting. He didn't even show up.
Yep.
So he can't even respond to a 33-year-old man just getting into who's been in this politics race for a minute trying to make a difference.
Yeah.
But he decided not to come. This is how arrogant white supremacist racists are. He's not even going to show up, just like some of his other guys refuse to show up. Trump is pulled with the same thing on several occasions as well. You can only show up and look so stupid so many times.
Exactly.
I mean,
come on.
There never was a thought that this woman could beat Warnock in a debate. I mean, you'd be far pressed to beat Warnock in any type of debate because he believes in facts and the truth.
Exactly.
So that's always on his side. But your governor ain't worth a damn neither. So he's a voter suppressionist as well, white supremacist as well. He's just he's a big of a coward than most of them, though.
Yeah.
So, you don't hear him say much about a whole lot. He's very, in the middle himself. However, he's the governor of Georgia. She owns a team in Georgia, so they related that way. So that's their connection.
Exactly. Mr. Neal, good morning, sir. Like you're frozen. Yeah, there you go. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Hey, man, I'm loving the shirt, brother. I'm loving the shirt. Absolutely, I'm loving the shirt, brother. What time we play today? What time we play? Yes, sir. At 5. Okay, good deal. Your microphone work, man? Oh, okay. I'm making sure your microphone work over there.
Hey man, I was looking at something on Sports Center.
Lord, my G.
Hey man, look, I gotta take advantage of this time, bro.
Yes, sir.
I'm always
Yeah,
coming to walk Charlie, go to sleep type mode. So.
exactly. We're talking about, and I know you looked at it, man, because you called me. You said, "Man, you looking at the debate?"
Yeah. Oh my God. Man.
Yes,
oh
sir. Now, what did you get from that debate? Yesterday?
Oh my God, a lot of insults. Man. You know what though, man? It was interesting because I was looking at social media. They were talking about why he didn't really come back at her, and I was, and one somebody said something that was very interesting. They were like, "Why would you answer to something that's not you?" And she kept trying to bait him.
Yeah.
And to bunking it up. And what we have to understand is that, again, we all always remember, I don't care how nice you are to the devil's still gonna be the devil.
Yes, sir.
So he did exactly, and everything he called out on, even to the point he was like, "Well, that's not true, but you're saying it anyway." You saw how she had that stoic. She was real stoic. It was almost like it was almost like somebody had rehearsed her to say that over and over and over. Every time she referred, that man never even called. I mean, even to the point, you saw how ugly she was to him when he said, "I give my condolences to the man who worked with your campaign." You saw how ugly she was.
Yeah. I saw that.
Did you see how? Did you see how ugly she was? And that just tells you the essence of how much she hate this man. And she hate this man not because of what he represent, it's who he represent.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Okay. And that's why I try to tell people or true believers. I say, look, sometimes you don't have to do anything for the devil to hate you. Remember something you told me years back, a couple of years back when you and I first started hanging out. Remember what you told me? You said, man, somebody told you that the people don't hate you. It's the demon inside them that hates you.
Yeah, exactly.
And you could, and that was evident last night. She was so stoic. You could tell that she had no pulse. It was like, bruh, she was so stoic. Her head didn't move.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like somebody put on pause and all you saw was her mouth move.
Yeah, exactly. Like she was programmed.
Right, like she was scared.
Yeah.
She was frightened. And then you got to think, David the producer so scared, he didn't even show up last night.
Yeah.
God was like,
we're just talking about it. Yeah. We're just talking about that.
Who don't show up, bro? Who don't show up?
Yeah.
The man didn't even tell him. He was a no call, no show.
Yeah. He'd be fired, won't he? No call, no show.
That man AWOL, they was calling this man like, where are you? That man didn't answer his phone.
Man,
I'm gonna tell you something. One thing about me, I tell everybody, I pay this phone bill, I don't answer my phone. Now, how long you gonna phone me is up to me.
Yeah.
I am controlling this. I pay this phone bill every month. And that's why I'm answering my phone. I ain't gonna run from you. If anything, like I said, it's gonna determine how crazy, how mad you make me, how long we gonna be on this phone.
Yeah.
That's just me. You ain't gonna duck. I can't duck and run for something I pay for. That's crazy.
Look, it ain't like back in the day. It ain't like back in the day. You had to drop another quarter in there.
Yeah, for real. I mean, bro, I'm talking about the man. They say the man ain't ever answer his phone. When I heard that, I was like, "Sweet Jesus."
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, "Sweet." And then she couldn't even say that Trump didn't lose. She was like, well, I think that he need to do the due process. What due process is he talking about, sweetheart? You're talking about over 30 days of due process that they have yet put any evidence on the table.
They don't have any. You can't present what you
My
don't
point. My point exactly.
have.
You gotta think he hijacked they rally Friday night or Saturday night. They said they was up there for 2 minutes, bro, and he ushered them off. Can you believe that?
Yeah. It's crazy.
My Lord, bro.
Yeah, I know. Adrian, hold on for me. Got a phone call. Hold on. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
I think that's me. Good morning, y'all. Toya with the T online.
Toya with the T. Good morning, girl. We look here. This Monday morning, we started off wide open. This Monday morning, we talking about that runoff debate. And the one that was supposed to happen that didn't because somebody didn't show up. And you know who that somebody is? Yeah, didn't even show up. Didn't even have the decency or the courtesy to show up or call, say I can't make it. Just didn't do nothing. Turned the phone off and went to bed. Looked at the game. All this is going on in the state of Georgia, and he didn't even show up. But the one that did happen, Warlock and Leffler, that was a mess. Did you look at it?
I did. I saw her keep saying the same thing over and over again, and then he finally was like, "Well, I'm going to say the same thing over and over again too. You dumped millions of dollars when it was time for the corona that comes up." I saw all that. First of all, listen. When they came up with that Constitution, it wasn't for them; it's for us. They've been doing what they want to do. That's what they do. They wrote that, put that on paper for us, so they could stop something. But I got one paper writing that's better than all that. That's the Bible, man. Like, come on, the joke. But I hear people say all the time, "Oh, separate church and Christ, separate church and Christ." Yeah, I can. I'm gonna leave church to church, and I'm gonna leave the Senate at the Senate. You understand what I'm saying? Like, no, we need to be all up in here because God runs this world, not demons and devils. Stop acting like. I mean, if we don't serve the Most High, we need to be in everything. And yes, that means politics too, because it's corrupt. How do we keep seeing corrupt politicians? But you so scary of a God, the main God, the head God, that you don't want him involved. Foolishness. That's where we at, man. Foolishness. So, for the Reverend, I hope that, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to judge because we all fall short of the glory. But I'm looking for that real Reverend. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to do that, you're going to do that. We don't need nobody that's going to be playing with them. Nobody's going to be easily to be persuaded. And nobody that's going to fall and get on their side because working for corporate America, I know what they want. They want somebody that's going to crack the whip.
They want to,
They want somebody who's going to make sure that all the cotton is picked very well. And everybody's in line. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that. But that debate yesterday, she's just terrible. She's just doing what they do to try to hold that little corner position of power. And it's just gone. The devil time is up. So they all finna lose. And since, Warnock, I think it's on the Lord's side, this is that part of the Bible where it says we win in the end. So I'm a believer of thinking that he's gonna win.
What do you think about her go-to quote was, he's going to defund the police. He's going to defund. It's like every question they ask her, he's going to defund the police. He's going to defund the police. That was her go-to little bullet point that she went to majority of the time. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. Well, this is what we need to understand. Just like anything else, there's a training. They get prepped to do things. And they know a majority of Americans base and move off of fear. All right. And if you look at her, you see her tactics. She has to tell the 76% of white women that helped old boy Trump get in there. She gotta have them scared. She has to keep repeating the things that they know are the top issues because that's just how the game goes. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we already know the game ain't about who's the best. It's about who can make the best show. Who can utilize the tools that we need to get the people to vote in our favor. And that's what she's doing. But as we watched it, that was falling on deaf ears. You know what I'm saying? We see the lack of compassion and lack of truth. She wasn't there, honey. She's just trying to get there so he won't. You know what I mean? So her and her go-to phrases, It's the phrases that they all use to try to keep the cattle in fear.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can have them on your side, because if you just keep drilling fear, just like Corona, look, they talk Corona for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. They engage and they steal fear if they can just keep you distracted on that and not focus on common sense. Some of this stuff right here with these politicians is common sense. You're lying.
Mm-hmm.
But see, they doing other things to keep us so draped off with fear factors that we can't even think clearly when it comes to half of the things that they're doing.
Good
you know
deal.
what I mean? So I again, they out of time. You can look at them and tell they're out of time. They're scrambling, trying to save this, that, and third, or whatever. And I just believe, before the Lord allows that group of people that wants to destroy this world to get in, He'll blow them all away. I'm telling you, they'll start dropping dead like flies because that time is over.
Good deal. Let me go to Adrian. You had something on your heart?
Yes, sir. I'm going to talk about 3 things real quick. One, do we remember a few years ago when somebody went and put Confederate flags in front of Ebenezer Church?
Yeah.
And how Bishop Warnock still dealt with that type of scrutiny and scare tactics with love, and he still stood up for the people. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, the reason why David Perdue did not show up last night is because there is a separation between the Republican Party that's happening, and it's now going to be Democrat, Republican, and Trumpism. It's a split of that party, and David Perdue is standing on the side of Trumpism because the Republican Party is collapsing within themselves. And number 3, I say that we call, and I don't know if you all know what David Perdue's career is outside of politics. Do you know?
No.
Anybody that goes to Dollar General, he's the owner of Dollar General. We should call for a boycott around the state of Georgia and around the nation against that foolishness. Because if I put you in a seat, and I'll even say this, when Donald Trump ran the Apprentice TV show, when he called on them people to come to work however they came to his show, and I'm going to talk about his own show here. If you didn't show up, you're fired. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So for this man, and again, he runs Dollar General. He owns Dollar General. Look it up. I know who Dave Perdue is.
Mm-hmm.
If you was a manager at Dollar General and you didn't show up, no call, no show, what would happen?
You're gone.
Fired. You gone.
Yeah.
You don't even have the decency to say I'm in the bed or I just don't want to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
You just ignore the situation like it just don't even exist. But you got X amount of millions of people in the state of Georgia and X amount of people in the nation that these senatorial seats are going to be able to affect. And you just let this out. Whatever.
Wow. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
I'm just listening. Like I say, the issue with that debate was absolutely ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So I never was one to support these type of people in the first place. So ain't nothing they can say I want to hear or anything like that. I just want them to be gone.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my whole thing about it. But it's one thing to be upset and talk about it. You got to go vote about it, because if you don't show up, she gonna win.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Ricky, what's on your heart, brother?
I mean, he's right, man. You got to put up or shut up with on the 5th. We got to put up or shut up. I mean, all the rest of this, all this going back and forth, and we know what we're dealing with. We know exactly what's happening, and now it's time for them to be escorted out. I mean, it's time. It's just time. And I think right now, I think in a nutshell, I think a lot of them know that their time is up. I think that they're trying to galvanize a certain kind of base, but at the same token, like my dear brother Adrian was saying, it is a rift in the Republican Party, and it's right here because you got to think the young man just had a rally with last week when he said that he felt like Georgia should even vote.
Yeah.
And they're at that point now because they're throwing Hail Marys right now because they're trying. And I think the scare tactic is always a Hail Mary because again, to say, which is ludicrous to me to say, we're gonna defund the police. I mean that's insane. Anybody who even got any common sense know that that's human impossible. But at the same token, you got to understand something. I tell people, listen to the dog with some words they use.
Yeah,
we can save our America.
Yeah.
I've heard that a lot in the last year, from Trump all the way down to every Republican candidate. They've always been they it's almost like that's their slogan, our America. And we got to really listen to that.
Exactly.
They keep saying save our America. They're going to take over our America. And that's alarming to me that we're sitting back and we even sit here contemplating about if I'm going to vote. When you talk about somebody saying I'm going to take over our America, my America, meaning that we don't even exist or we don't even count. So come on, people, let's get this together. We shouldn't even have this conversation right now. They should have lost back in November.
Yeah,
but they cheated. Come on.
Right.
And we got to make sure that the numbers represent the fact that of what we really want. Adrian, I'm gonna come to you. Then we're gonna jump on our topic. Now this been good right here, but this ain't our topic for today. We're going to jump in the topic in just 1 second. But Adrian, what's on your heart?
I'm gonna touch on this real quick. All the state of Georgia. warnotforgeorgia.com. warnotforgeorgia.com. That's where you can donate $5. Every penny counts in this election. warnotforgeorgia.com. Like Leonard said, they put up a shut up. Number 2, have a civil rights march in Atlanta to show them that we are still united. And the reason why I say a civil rights is because Black Lives Matter and those riots, we sit here talking about defund the police and how that's being used as a scare tactic. Don't y'all know that all of those riots that were started was not started and pushed and endorsed by people that's out here for real change? That was started and pushed by the other side, okay? And they trying to pin it on the Black Lives Matter movement as scare tactics to get people to come out and to vote against the change. And I will segue into the topic that I read. I'm not fighting against you. I'm fighting myself. We have to realize that when we as leaders or as people, okay, when we do corrupt, manipulative things, or for example, David Perdue, okay, not showing up, he's not fighting us. He's fighting against himself. Because just like we talked about a few weeks ago, you're only as strong as your weakest link, okay? And if we want Georgia to be strong, if we want America to be strong, we need to stand up and stop fighting against our man across the aisle and, color or race or whatever it is. Because at the end of the day, we all bleed the same red blood. We all live in the same America and all live in the same Georgia. The resources that come into Georgia can help educate people to have better communities, to be more hopeful, to have better health care, to have better jobs, to have not. When is the march? I don't know, but we need to organize. I don't know if it's a march right now. I'm trying to get Ebenezer on the church right now. That's why I'm trying to do it. Get them on the phone and tell them we need to have a march starting at the old Ebenezer and ending right back across the street at the new Ebenezer and send a message around Atlanta and around the world. Just that simple.
Good deal. I think we have Rico with us this morning. Rico, good morning. How you doing, sir?
Rise and all y'all kings and queens. How y'all doing, man?
Hey, doing good. We're going to get into our topic, but before we get into our topic, I want to hear your heart on what you saw. I don't know if you even watched the debate yesterday, the Georgia runoff debate. Did you look at it?
Yeah, I checked it out, man. It went viral. It was a real boo-boo show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. We should be used to a lot of these boo-boo shows. With these Trump rallies and everything that's been going on. Like, I'll be honest with you, we've been having boo-boo shows since Reagan, and it's just been progressing.
Yeah.
Adrian said a second ago that they're dividing. Now they've been divided. We just forgot about the Tea Party. And see, that's how this thing works.
they throw all this stuff out here for us to talk about to distract us while the main key sources are still at work. And we forget about those key sources because if they don't talk about them, we don't think about them.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I realize I don't want to call them the devil, but evil people work with two tools, defiance and distraction.
Mm-hmm.
And so even the people that founded this country, they came over here in defiance of somewhere else they were leaving. They call it a good reason to do it. But America's whole, I'm going to say energy that is put up has been defiance, but we call it transit.
Mm-hmm.
But it hasn't been defiance. And that's why we embraced the rebel over here. So now that's the precedence. Mm-hmm. Always be defiant. That's what the people in power do. People with power, people that dictate the energy of society. They defiant and then they distract you.
Yeah.
So now this is what I think. I think it's a ploy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a ploy to get people distracted and to subconsciously feel like these people ain't gonna show up at the polls, and we'll get comfortable knowing we need to show up and won't show up, even though it is a runoff and it's a close race. And imagine what kind of effect that would have on a lazy person that really don't want to show up to vote to hear that Perdue didn't show up. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I know his people ain't gonna win. He ain't gonna win. He ain't even show up. That's a great excuse for a lazy person that barely showed up the last time he would come this time again. Take time out their day again.
Mm-hmm.
So think about the person. Think about the person that really don't feel like being involved with this mess, and you had to push to go out and vote the last time. Think about getting them to come out here again this time and what they saw last night. They might feel comfortable that we ain't got nothing to worry about. And that's how the science of psychology works when you got power. Mm-hmm. And so you'll have us up here talking about the boo-boo show, where really and truly they're just saying, yeah, talk about it. Ooh, but you know what? Y'all ain't thinking about going out there and keep on telling folks to vote, 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 vote. See, where is that momentum?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That momentum is behind. I don't think people realize that, man. But that enthusiasm that people had to go and show up, you ain't hearing that no more. We more into the sensationalism. Mm-hmm. And all they doing is working American psychology on the people. Mm-hmm. And they got us discussing this nonsense when really the whole bigger picture is getting these people to show up again.
Exactly.
Well, no, ain't nobody talking about that.
Mm-hmm. That's outside the realm of the conversation. You're absolutely right. Let's get into our topic for today. Our topic, they got a lot of people tuning in. They asking about the topic. And was what we talking about based on the topic? No, there was something totally different. We was talking about what happened over the weekend with the runoff debate here in the state of Georgia for the Senate seats. There was supposed to be 2 runoffs, but unfortunately there was only one because somebody decided that it wasn't important enough for them to attend a runoff. They didn't think they didn't see it as being important enough, so they bypassed it and they let it go and didn't even like Minister Neal said, didn't even bother to answer their phone. But let's talk about the topic at hand. Our topic for today is I'm not fighting you, I'm fighting myself. And one of the things around this, I'm gonna let everybody deal with the way they want to deal with it. But a lot of times what happened is a person will get so caught up, into their own issues. And it gets so bottled up inside them that they'll lash out to the very people that's around them. Maybe even the people that's trying to help them, they'll just lash out. And if they really look at it, they're not fighting against you. They're fighting against everything that's bogging them down. They're fighting against themselves. People get tired. People get bogged down. People get frustrated, if you will. Minister Neal, what do you say about that?
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
People get bogged down. And a lot of times when they're fighting, they're arguing, they're fussing, they're doing all these different things. They're not really necessarily fighting you. They're fighting situations that they're in because they feel so bogged down, they feel so trapped. And so sometimes the only way that they can release that issue, the frustration and the hurt that's in them, is to lash out to the very people that's around them. And so they're not fighting. They're not necessarily fighting you. You're the one that's taking the blows, but they're not fighting you. They're really fighting themselves. What do you say?
Right. I mean, I think that happens a lot, but I think that sometimes we have to I mean, even for me as a preacher, one of the things that I have to, when people come to me a lot of times and they say a lot of derogatory things, stuff that I won't even repeat on, and I won't even really say because sometimes it's not even worth even relaying back to people who I'm talking to at the time. And I say that to you because it's been times where I've actually seen or heard certain people say certain things, and I've been pushed back a little bit, but I still have to go in and I still have to do what thus say the God, thus say the Lord. So that's the dilemma. But you have to understand that everybody deal with circumstances and situations different from everybody else. So we have to. It's a check and balance, this type of thing. So we have to understand that, and that's what that comes in it. So with the pushback from somebody fighting with you, I truly believe that that's something that it comes with frustration. It comes with fatigue.
Yes.
And when I mean fatigue of the situation, because sometimes you get so tired of that situation that you'll lash out.
Yeah.
And for me, a lot of times when I'm at a point, I won't even say a curse word. I will say, "Sweet Jesus." That's my breaking point. That's my breaking point. Like, sweet Jesus, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
That's my breaking point.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes,
that's my breaking point. That's my breaking point. Because I know that that's just where I am. So it truly depends on the person and where they are. But do I think that we fight amongst ourselves? I think sometimes we're victims of the circumstances.
Okay.
Meaning that sometimes you got to think. There's been times you can walk into a morning office and someone had a bad night or a bad morning, and that's not so much they're taking out on you, but it's just that the way they come off, their whole persona is now thrown off. So now they're angry. So we have to take that all into consideration. But I thank God that Jesus always said, he sent us a comforter.
Yeah.
And I think those are the things that we have to look at. So a lot of times as a preacher, I look at them and I might smile. And sometimes, I immediately go and pray for them. They don't know I'm praying for them. Like, I mean, people don't even know. I've been sitting there like, have mercy on him.
Yeah.
Have mercy on him. And they don't even know that little subtle thing can release you from whatever it is that you're going on. So again, it goes back to what are you willing to take? Yeah. Now, I'm not going to let you abuse me.
Exactly.
I'm a man. And you ain't gonna talk to me any kind of way.
Yeah.
Because at the same token, I'm just a man who happened to call, who answers his calling. And don't get me wrong. Now you get too close to me and get up in my circumference. Now, hey, Rick and Neil gonna stand up. And you're gonna roll like a lion.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to understand. So we have to also be careful about that as well. So that's why I say you can't let yourself go there. That's why a lot of times my breaking point is always sweet Jesus. Can't believe, and I'll come back. Well, I can't believe this. And those things that you have to really and truly have to be careful about.
That's good. That's good. Toya, what do you say to that? I'm not fighting you. I'm actually fighting against myself. Toya, what do you say to that? People, they lash out because you're there.
Absolutely. I'm a woman, so I mean, y'all ain't got to agree, but that's just come natural for us. So we start spreading around to other kind of people. We kind of already know, but what I'm learning, even if you're just dealing with the Lord, I'm learning that about myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning that, like the other day, I was talking to somebody, they were asking me a question. I was going to say, "Oh my gosh," and I had to catch myself like, wait. That energy, honey, they just asking a question. What's the problem? You know what I mean? So it's a lot of emphasis when we deal with people. I used to teach people that work for me that you never know what somebody's going through.
Yeah.
So don't just automatically jump up and attack or have an attitude, because you just never know. Because oftentimes the stress of that loved one, maybe having to take care of another loved one that's disabled, maybe just lost someone, maybe, whatever the detrimental circumstances is, may be contributing to why they're acting the way they're acting. Kids, when kids have something traumatic happen, it changes them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's key to probably why they're acting the way they're acting. So, I definitely believe in that phrase. I definitely know that, it's true. You know, hurt people, so they just pop off at whoever they can. You know, and even with me, I'm very patient. But you only got but so much before I'm gonna let you have that back. Yeah. I don't care what you done did, honey. I don't care if you're slow, need special challenge. You got but so much and so long to be thinking you're gonna do me any kind of way. And I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna talk about you. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna let you have it. But no, that is definitely something that, you know, we as humans, we do. I don't think we acknowledge it, but when we're dealing with others, we have to be mindful so that way we don't send that supercharged energy out, or it won't come back.
Exactly. Rico, what? We had Rico there for a second. We lost him. Hopefully he'll come back in. I think he's having an issue with with this connection there. But Leonard, how understanding do we have to be? How understanding? Pull your mic back up, please. How understanding do we have to be in a situation like that where we know that the person is actually lashing out, not at us, but because of the frustration that they're going through at that particular time?
How are you doing
today?
I'm going to understand perfectly and let you know I will reprimand you.
Okay.
I'm gonna put an end to the misbehavior. Because I don't tolerate it.
Yeah.
I don't care what your problem is. You better go holler at whoever made you mad. Because you're gonna have two problems. You keep fooling with me.
So watch this, y'all. Where's the compassion, Leonard?
The compassion is I didn't slap the taste out of your mouth when you said what you said the first time.
There ain't no compassion. Compassion is when you understand what the person is going through and you're able to deal with what it is that person going through. Take a time and pause. And say, that's not you. That's not your character. That's not who you are. What is going on? What can I help you with today? Come on, talk to me, Leonard.
My job is not to pacify your foolishness. I mean, I don't get down like that. That's why a lot of people have so many problems in their life right now. Because they tolerate everybody and everything to walk up to them, say anything, put anything in their spirit, and all this type of stuff. I'm gonna let you know, partner. You need to back up right now. All that frustration and everything. You need to sit down and you need to think about how we gonna talk about that. But what you not gonna do is disrespect me. Get yourself together.
So basically, what I'm hearing you say is there's no compassion.
I mean, there's going to be compassion, but there's going to be discipline as well. Because what you're not going to do.
Compassionate discipline?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's the thing about it. You know, you let people be hollering at you and doing all it. For what? For what? I'm not doing that to you. Why should I allow you to do that to me?
There you go.
I don't care nothing about what you've been through. I don't care nothing about what happened to you or nothing like that. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Man, look at here. This person been going through a lot of things. You know, you've been counseling this person for a couple of days, or seeing other people counsel this person for a couple of days. You come in there and you want to get the sugar bowl, put some sugar in your coffee, and they yell at you, man, what you want the sugar bowl for?
Better get your life right.
Come on, man. Ain't nobody got time for that. You think you come in here and show out?
But see, I'm not fighting you. I'm fighting myself.
Well, you should have stayed at home. Because when I don't feel good, guess what? I stay my behind at home. Or I don't say nothing to nobody because I have to get myself together.
What's the sound effects Toya you got going on over there?
Because I always whispering to Toya in the background. I know Toya be hearing me when I be whispering to me.
What's the sound effects Toya you got going on?
He said, you got your compassion, you can get the fire slapped out your mouth.
Right. You know how when thank you.
Hold on, let me do this right here. Let me go to Donna Tucson. Donna Tucson, good morning. So how you doing this morning? Donna Tucson, I'm not fighting you. I'm fighting myself. You just happen to be the one that's taking the punches right now because you're the one that's standing before me. But I'm not fighting you. I'm fighting myself. Huh?
No, I'm not. I'm not taking no punches.
But it's not you. But brother, it's not you I'm fighting though.
Come on, Tucson.
I'm fighting me. I'm fighting against me. You just have the wrong place at the wrong time, brother. Wrong place at the wrong time.
Beat the hell out yourself then.
So here I am.
Turn your mic off, man.
Okay.
Oh.
So here's the deal. Look, you fight, we'll fight.
Yeah.
I'm fighting mine.
Mm-hmm.
But you bring your fight to my fight.
Mm-hmm.
Some kind of way, are you gonna have to back up? Because I'm dealing with me.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with me.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we try to juggle other folks' lives with our juggle. And then we toe up. That's why we got messed with people. That's why we got all this confusion and this anger.
Come on, Tucson.
Violence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not, because everybody has their own frame of mind. You know, we can't. Let's just throw this one out here. I'm not trying to fight Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm fighting me.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna let him bring his mess to my life.
But see, Donald, and the things that I'm hearing, Donald, is and I need to hear where's the compassion in what y'all are saying. Where's the compassion?
It's a plenty of it. It's plenty of it. Look, I hear people. Listen to the conversation now. Okay? You have different tones.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are expressive and they're emotional and they really letting you have it how they feel. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are, they get all bent out of shape because somebody came in their life with their fight and they're fighting themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So now, instead of them concentrating on themselves, they are trying to deal with other folks and ignoring them. And so their fight within them, I hope this makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Let me slow down so I can make sense. You already got problems.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Your biggest enemy is you.
Mm-hmm.
You got enough going on in your life for the rest of your life to fight your own fight. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
Here comes Emotional Sally.
Emotional Sally.
Temporary Jim.
Mm.
And he all messed up.
Okay.
His auntie on crack, and his uncle is a molester.
Mm-hmm.
And he mad as hell.
Hey!
And he coming with you.
Mm-hmm.
Now he come with you. Come to you with all his stuff. Let me just say like this. Okay. You in a relationship. Okay. You walk in the door. You say, hey, how you doing? Don't you talk to me.
Mm.
So what you gonna do?
I ain't gonna talk. Get on about my business.
What did you have to do with that? What fight is that?
You having a bad day.
So now, because of their response, you gonna fire off the handle.
So my thing is right here. Should you match their aggression with aggression though? That's my question.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And sometimes we try to match people's aggression, and you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go. That's what.
But see, Donald. But my thing is, Donald. My
gas on a flame.
But Donald. My thing is this right here. Yeah. If you walk into that house and you say, "Hey, baby, how you doing? Don't speak to me. I ain't got no," and then you say, "Well, hold on, what the?" And you go and you match that aggression with aggression. The only thing you have there is an argument.
That's it. Two fools. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You walk in the room with a fool and you act a fool. What you got?
Two fools arguing. But see, and that's my point right there. You're not doing anything to calm the situation down. You're doing nothing. You're actually doing just as you said, adding gas to it. Mm-hmm.
Here's the deal. Here's what happened. You walk in the door and you get that aggression.
Mm-hmm.
And you've had a bad day on the job because you're fighting yourself. You're not fighting them. Their response to you has nothing to do with the argument.
But see, and that goes right back to the topic. Now you got two people. I'm not fighting you. I'm fighting against myself. You have two people fighting against themselves, but they throwing punches at each other though.
Exactly. And the enemy,
I see Adrian,
is standing there watching. He says, "I just want to start the fight."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Let me go to Adrian. We got another caller. I'm coming to you in just 1 second. Hold on, because I definitely want to hear your input on this. Adrian, what's on your heart, brother? I'm not fighting you. I'm fighting against myself.
I think a minute ago you talked about where's the compassion. I actually agree with Leonard in full that the compassion is me taking the time to stop and listen to whatever you're going through, how your day was, or whatever your situation was. And I understand, we understand people go through different things in life, and sometimes everything isn't going to come out or be explained real, calm and diplomatic or whatever. Sometimes you have to kind of get it out. But it's expressed, hey, it's not towards you, somebody else did, or some, a situation at work. I'll tell you a brief story. I had a young lady last year that I was, talking to. She had went through a bad situation with a guy out here. And I kid y'all not, the young lady told me, she said, I want you to just be my punching bag. I kid y'all not. She said those exact words. And my words to her were much like Leonard.
You were okay.
No. My words to her were much like Leonard's. It was like, look, whatever you went through with this dude in your past, whatever that is, that ain't got nothing to do with me. You're separated from me. I'll listen to you. I'll hear you out. I'll have compassion. But now, if you taking that aggression out against me because you mad with something else that you fighting against or within yourself or whatever it is, if I get a touch on you, trust me, you gonna know what I've done to you. You gonna know my firepower, because it's not fair to me because you find within yourself or some other situation that you taking it out on me. That's not fair to me. You see what I'm saying? And it's not a selfish thing. It's just go take it out on the one or the situation that did it to you. If you're gonna do anything, don't come at me because I'm innocent. Just that simple.
But see, again, I don't know if I'm really hearing the compassion in what's being said. Let's go to the caller. We got another caller. Caller, we got a caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Cassandra calling from Atlanta.
Oh, no, the Thug Pastor. I got to say it one time, the Thug Pastor. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm well.
Morning, Queen Cassandra.
We're asking the question.
Good morning.
We're asking the question is we're making a statement. I'm not fighting you. I'm fighting against myself. I'm fighting myself. And a lot of times people find themselves in that situation, whereas they're punching and fighting the people that's around them because that's the one that they can vent to. But they're not really fighting against them. They're fighting the situation that they're in. It's just the person, like Adrian said, becomes the punching bag. What do you say to that? I'm not fighting against you. I'm fighting myself.
Yeah. I see that a lot. I get that a lot. And it's really a sad commentary because that cliche, hurt people, when people are damaged and they're fighting within themselves, they have a way of attacking those that are closest to them. It may be their spouse, it may be their children, it may be their even co-workers, and you get the draws.
Yes,
I'll put it like that, off of whatever has been happening to them, and it's really sad. And I'm just going to throw this out there because we're talking about people essentially being abusive, because that's what it is when you're attacking someone. It's abusive. I don't care who it's coming from. But at 3:00 this morning, I got a call from somebody that had been beaten. It started with him coming in, conversation, attacking, threatening type conversation, and then it went to her being hit. And so she wanted to reach out to me to find out how did she leave, because she was afraid, to leave, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I talked, I gave her, what I normally give people. But it's really sad to me that people can be upset with themselves. They've done something, you know what I'm saying? And that really bothers me, especially because 1 in 3 women we know, 1 in 7 men experience some type of abuse. But it really bothers me that you could go out, you cheating, whatever, you come home 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you want to fight me. You want to start a fight with me because of something you've done.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Exactly.
It's really sad.
Exactly. Rico, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
You know, we have to respect, you know, Donald got that book out that he wrote about the fragility of the human being, you know what I'm saying? And we got to understand that human beings, we will become emotionally distressed sometimes. They call it frustration, you know, and it's easy to say as the recipient of this person's frustration what we want or will tolerate. But sometimes the recipient is the one that get abused, because they can be the punching bag and they know this person here has control over there or can take advantage of them. Or it might be a situation, like say for instance, I got a cousin that played pro football. He man, he was an ox, strong, and he's a good person. But when you look at him and he's in a situation, he's mad, when he get frustrated, he get emotionally distressed, you got to turn into a crisis manager. You better turn into a crisis manager, because you ain't gonna be able to whoop everybody. So, you know, that's what it really, to me, that's what it boils down to. When you realize somebody's emotionally distressed and you know that they're frustrated about something, but you didn't have anything to do with it, then that's when your emotion comes in. If you're a crisis manager, you know not to add fuel to the fire, but you're gonna be consistent, because one dude, you might be able to slap the next person, but the next person, I bet you somebody out there, that 350, 500-pound bench pressing person that you know, when he started like that, you're gonna have to be like, well, hold on, brother. You gotta compare. You don't want to put your frustration out of your wheel out on them, because they might just take you through a couple of walls. They already are at that point. You know what I'm saying? They already a foot bigger than you, 100 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you ain't finna check them the same way you would this weak person that you could just handle any kind of way. So across the board, you have to respect the variety of the fragility of our flaws and our human mankind.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be that person that understands, okay, you know what, man, I know this joker snapping about something. I don't know what it is, but it just came at me sideways. I don't tolerate that. I don't play that. Come here. But then, like I said, let that person be somebody that can take you through a wall. Hold on, bro, what's going on? Calm down for a second, my brother. So we can't pick and choose. We got to be neutral all the way across the board, because we know it's the same basic foundation that has messed up, is frustration. We have to become crisis negotiators. If we are the victims, if we are the recipients of these people's backlash, then we really have to become the crisis negotiators. Because a woman that's being whooped on by her husband, or a child being whooped on by his father, has to find another way to reach the sensitivities of this person that's going through this frustration and taking it out on me.
So what I'm hearing you say, Rico, is your approach will be different with Cat Williams as it will be with Debo.
No, it would be the same.
That right.
It would be the same out of respect, because I ain't gonna go against my emotion and say, oh, Cat acting like this with me, I'll whoop his little butt. I know I could. But then but see, I'm acting out of emotion then, because Cat came at me wrong. I don't play that. But now what if it was Debo?
Yeah.
Like, who you talking to, Debo?
Yeah.
I'll slap the taste out your mouth.
What you got on my 40?
I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to calm the situation. Brother, I ain't the one that you after. I didn't do this. But what's going on? You get what I'm saying? You have to be the same negotiator as you would as if you came across somebody that was talking about they were about to kill themselves. It's except that you might be the victim if you don't respond right. So you have to be a crisis negotiator, just like, you know, when somebody finna jump off a building.
Good deal.
If it's your loved one, you ain't gonna say, well, jump. You're gonna think about a way that you want to make sure that they preserve that life. So you would have to do that for every other person too, even if it was a skinhead or a white nationalist want to drop off a building. If you was a crisis negotiator, you better say what you're supposed to say neutrally and not put your emotion into it.
Exactly.
But go ahead and jump. I know you don't like black people. Jump. One less racist. No, I can't do that.
I might feel like I want to do that. I might feel like I want to slap the person that came at me wrong. But
good deal. Minister Neil, what's on your heart, brother? I'm not fighting you. I'm fighting myself.
I mean, I've listened to the comments, and it's interesting because, like, for me, I've been in certain situations where it's been a male and a female, and I kind of treated both of them the same way. I don't really, I guess, because I look at it from this perspective that I got more to lose than you do, and by me holding up the bloodstained banner, I have to be very careful about what I said, how I said. And you know I'm telling the truth because there's been times that people have said something to me. I mean, I've been like, okay. But in my mind, I'd be like, man, if only if you do. I mean, I'm just saying. And for me, from where I'm from, I didn't care how you came. Because I always felt like I'm going to eat them odds up. Because I always had the hammer with me. I always had it with me. So I always felt like, you know what, I'm always going to eat these odds up. I don't care how big you are, how skinny you are, how slick you are, whatever it is you got going on, we can handle this. And what I had to learn was that, and I thank God for Jesus, that He showed me a different way. Sometimes listen to what they're saying. And I say that to you because, you know, just like you and I joke about this all the time, when a certain person said something bad about my show. And I told you, I said, bro, I had to go outside for a minute because that person made me just that angry. But I said, they don't know. I was about to come back in and grab them by their shirt collar and start looking. And you started laughing. You was like, I said, bro, by the time I got there finished with them, you would have been like, bro, why you do that? Because they don't know what they did. But at the same token, I had to refrain from that because I didn't even respond to it. You know, I didn't respond to it because you was in the room. I never even responded to it. Sometimes when people saying certain things too, sometimes you need to step back and say, you know what, let me make a safety zone for myself. Let me roll. Sometimes it ain't for me. Sometimes I ain't got to. That's why I tell people, sometimes we talk too much. I don't have to say that to you all the time. Sometimes because I know with me, I'm a man. Especially when I don't care, you could be 10 foot tall. You say something crazy to me, I'm going all that what you say you are, it's showtime. It is showtime with me. Because where I'm from, it's gonna be showtime. I'm like, you say you gangster, I'm gonna treat you. If you want to be a G, I'm gonna treat you as such. It's showtime. It's showtime. All that old gangster this ain't no rap music to me, bro. Because I'm gonna tell you, if I get to this car and I cock this hammer back, I'm gonna tell you, I have no problem with laying down for what I gotta do. That's how I used to live. But now I'm like, you know what, let me step back for a minute. Because these people don't even know where God brought me from. And that's why I say I got a lot to lose. Because he worked on me a lot. And you've heard people talk when they've called and told you about my reputation. I'm not lying about it. I have people tell me it had to be a God for them to change me. Because they already know. You can get it. It wasn't no doubt in my mind with me. That's why I don't never talk about it. Because I tell people, say that part of me is dead and gone. I don't even worry about that person anymore. That person don't, but at the same token, when you say certain things to me, it's gonna be what it is. Cause like I say, if you say you all this what you say you are, I don't care. You could be King Kong. It's gonna be showtime. With me, I can't speak for everybody. It's gonna be showtime. It's literally gonna be, you're gonna look up, you're gonna be like, how that little man jumped on that man like that? Cause I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you everything I got. I'm gonna tell you this 210, I'm gonna give you every bit. I'm talking all the way down to the toenail. I'm gonna give you everything.
Adrian, what's on your heart, brother? Come to you next.
You know, in this topic of conversation, I think that many times I'm not fighting you, I'm fighting myself. When we get in a frustrated, or people in general get in a frustrated situation and you lash out against somebody innocent, for example, you know, a father might lash out and beat his child because him and his wife fighting, or the boss got on their nerves, or whatever it is. Okay. That person feels like they backed in a corner. They really feel like I'm at such a point of panic, frustration, anger. I can't cognitively think for myself. And I feel like I'm backed in a corner. And being backed in that corner, anybody that I see, it could be the dog. Truth be told, it could be the dog. People to kick their dog.
Man, don't kick the dog, man. Don't kick the dog. Man,
I know it's not funny, but they feel like they backed in a corner, and when they backed in that corner, they feel like everybody is against them. Mm-hmm. Brother Leonard said it, Brother Neil said it, Brother Rico said it. It's like, yo, I'll come here. I understand we all go through different things. I go through stuff. But bring it down and realize you're not in that corner by yourself. If I love you, or if I'm a crisis counselor, if I'm a minister, truth of the matter, y'all, I've traveled all over America, and I've lived on the islands too, okay? And there have been people that randomly, I've encountered situations, strangers, and I tell them, I be like, look, you're not in this thing alone. You're not in this thing called life alone, number one. Number one, God is with you. And number two, there's other people out here that understands your frustration, your pains. Don't take that fight out on nobody else. And truth of the matter, don't take it out on yourself. Learn how to get that healing from within that you need, so that you're not sitting here exerting energy against yourself and nobody else, and you can get out of that corner, okay, and you can become back to think, cognitive. Even if the situation is bad that you're dealing with, crappy, you're upset about it, you're not in the corner by yourself, because feeling like you pinned in that corner by yourself, scared, whatever it is, yeah, that energy that comes out, it's just like, who was at the thought the other night? Tyson and Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
Man, you go to your corners, you feel, man, I'm in this corner by myself. Soon as I step out, boom, 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 I'ma hit it. No matter who it is, hit it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a
good deal. Good deal. And that's the thing right there. A person feel closed in, and if they feel closed in, you put any animal in a corner with a broom, he's coming out their corner, man. He's coming out in one way or another. That animal is coming out. I don't care how big or small he is. You have him in the corner, trapped in that corner. You got a broom and you swinging at him. He's coming out that corner. He's coming out that corner in some kind of way. Trust and believe. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Morning, Glow family. What's going on? It's Kurt, man. What's going on?
What up, Kurt?
What's morning, Kurt? What's up, baby?
We're talking about I'm not fighting you. I'm fighting myself. And a lot of times a person will be in a situation where the frustration and the weight of the world come down on them. And because of the fact that you're the one that's around them, they've been out to you. They fight you. They attack you. But I'm not fighting you. I'm fighting myself. What do you say to that, Curtis?
Well, it happens all the time. More than we care to not only admit to, but more than we care to acknowledge.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because it's easier. I call it from a perspective of behavior modification counseling.
Mm-hmm.
I call it displaced anger.
Okay.
It's easier to place the anger and or frustration and or the lack thereof of appropriate behavior on another person. Nobody realistically wants to accuse themselves. That is painful, and there's a study, like when you talk about like pain threshold and stuff like that, like what is your pain levels and all that. Some people have a greater pain threshold than others.
Mm-hmm.
There's a study that they use to kind of define that and define the meaning, the real meaning of it. So if I asked you to punch yourself or to bite your own tongue,
mm-hmm.
one of the ways that they can tell if a person is like over the edge in normal behavior, I think psychopathic, you know what I'm saying? And those things is, okay, when asked, like, a normal person cannot bite their own tongue purposely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can put your teeth around it, but you can't literally. A normal mind will not draw its own blood.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So if I asked you to punch yourself as hard as you could, you would probably knock yourself out. But when you go to punch yourself, you're going to pull back on that punch only because you're not going to create that kind of pain for yourself. So why do I say that? I say that because it's simple. In the scenario you're given, people have a tendency to push their pain on other folks. It's misdirect. I call it misdirected energy. Like you pushing this anger, you pushing this frustration, you pushing it off on the first person that's available, or the person that you know is willing to take it, so that you don't have to deal with it. Instead of saying, "Look, I'm frustrated, I'm angry, and I'm
Curtis,
all of these things."
Even what you're saying, even with what you're saying right now, Curtis, how healthy is that?
Oh no, it's not a healthy thing at all, because in all reality, all you're doing is you are pushing you're making your social structure smaller, because you're pushing people away that you actually and literally need close by you. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, you're feeding a narrative that is a lie, because the real problem 9 times out of 10 is yourself. See, nobody wants to admit that they are the problem, but everybody don't have a problem taking credit for that which is right. Nobody wants to admit that they're wrong. Very few people are willing to do that, but everybody is willing to take credit. If they make a decision or do something that goes right, everybody's willing to take credit for that. So as far as from a health perspective, no, it's not healthy at all, because once again, you're feeding a lie. So that pattern of behavior then becomes a go-to, and it also becomes your way. It's the thing that you use as a defense mechanism when you mess up or when you violate. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you use that as a defense mechanism. You see what I'm saying? Or if you're going into a situation where you know it's messed up, you know that it ain't good for you, and then soon as it goes bad for you, then you use that as a defense against why you went through that situation in the first place.
Good deal. Good
Does
deal.
that make sense?
It does.
It's like you mind screwing yourself.
Wow. Let me go. Let me go to Leonard. Leonard, talk to me, brother. What's on
I'm glad Kurt was on today, so he could let folks know really what it's about and why you don't need to coddle this type of behavior or encourage it. Because one, if you already got something horrible going on with, let's say at the job, now you're gonna make it horrible at your house. How that's gonna work out?
You're gonna carry that over,
right? Why would you do that? I never understood why someone would let somebody else get them mad and then you go and attack somebody innocent.
Ain't had nothing to do with
it. See, that I have a problem with that. I have a problem everywhere with people like that. So I choose not to associate with them people. You know, you got people going to come in. I remember, you know, like I say, I used to take appointments to talk to people about issues and how to help them with their issues, right? You come in there with that attitude, I'll let you know point blank. Get out.
Yeah. We ain't got time for that.
Get out. You come in here disrespectful, thinking you gonna dump on me and blah 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 blah. That's not my function here. So this is not beneficial to resolving any issue that you have. So why would you keep doing that? Even with my children or my wife or anyone around me. See, that's what I'm big on, is I might not be able to change the world, but I can control my environment. I can control my environment around me.
Okay.
And one, I don't like that in my space. And so you have some people who have found this out the hard way. And they're coming, well, you know how I am. Well, now you know how I am.
It ain't gonna mesh.
It's not gonna go together because there's nothing about me that's gonna let you abuse me.
Good deal. Good deal. We're gonna go in this order right here. Cassandra, Toya, and then Donald. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Cassandra, you there?
Yes. I'm here. Okay. Yeah, I'm here. I can honestly say that as a result of a lot of abuse that I went through as a kid, I was very destructive toward myself. I had destructive behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
And Kurt gave an analogy about somebody biting their tongue. When I would get angry, I would literally bite my right thumb, until it bled. And that was a rage that was so, I mean, literally there would be a split in my thumb, and you could still see the damage that I did over those years. I would bite on my thumb until it bled. It was like once I saw my blood, I could, like, my anger would like decrease. But until then, I wanted to kill somebody. Literally, I wanted to kill somebody. And when I would bite myself, and if I fought you, I was trying to kill you. I wasn't trying to like hurt you or stop you from whatever you were doing to me. I wanted to kill you. And it really took God to get me to a place where, that's why I don't like getting angry with people. I mean, with everything in me, that old man is real. That old man is real. And you have to constantly keep your flesh under subjection. And God has done a great work in me. I mean, I ain't saying no good work. He's done a great work in me, because now it's rare that I ever even get the impulse. You have to like really get me where I would bite myself. But man, that thing wasn't no joke when I was younger, man. I mean, into my teens, I would literally try to kill you. If I bite my thumb and that blood came, it was on top.
Wow. Toya, what's on your heart?
It's you.
Yeah, cause that's something. That's Toya.
Oh, how I can identify with the young lady. But let me tell you something. I like to fight big men. I couldn't fight no average girl. My father had me training at 6 push-ups, chin-ups, saddle boxing, how to defend myself. I'm gonna get bruised. If he pick you up and slam you, let me tell you how you need to lay. So when you hit the ground, you better get up. So that anger right there, I know what she's talking about. But that's why I was always extra nice and sweet. By the time you stop, it took you about 90 days of messing with me before I came back. Because you don't believe in that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, let's have fun. You know, people crazy. Let's move on. I try to be an innovator, inspirator, negotiator. And that is sometimes taken the wrong way. And people have to try it. And that's when I don't need, like, I'm not going to waste taxpayers' dollars. I'm going to let myself in the jail because I know what I did wrong. Not being about being a psychopath. It's just a flip that switch. And truth be told, I'm going to be all the way honest. I choose to flip that switch. And I understand sometimes when I hear stories about psychopaths and how they just flip, because I remember that kind of anger. And if you don't do nothing, you can't get it out. What are you going to do? And it feel like you're getting ready to go crazy. So I understand when I look at these stories, like the point they were at before they snapped. But like Cassandra said, that's how I know it was the God. That's how I know it's the God. It was too many times, too many days I was familiar. I saw myself being the next one, the next victim, or the next thing on a magazine. You know what I'm saying? Because of the anger and the rage. And sometimes, I don't know, just something about being a woman is different, because I hear y'all just say, you know, oh yeah, you don't have no compassion. No, it's not quite like that with us. People kind of sense something is going on with you because you feel something ain't right, and we want to try to help, we want to nurture. And then when you cross that, it hits different when we get ready to snap, because I done gave up something I probably shouldn't have. And then you gonna snap on me? Oh no. Burn the whole house down. What? So I understand that anger, but God.
Yes.
Once he tells you, you know, once he reaches you, once he lets you see, that's a trick and a deception. Because let me tell you something, the greatness you was meant to be, you'll be wasting your whole life behind bars because that's been untricked you. You go ahead and do that. I know.
I'll put some money on you.
I feel like that too. I'm God.
I'll put some money.
But it's not worth it, baby. It's a trick and it's a distraction, because I know you just don't know how what you got, what I got for you. The devil knows what I got for you. He know if you ever tap into that greatness, it's a wrap on that. So stay focused, baby girl. I'm right here all the time. It gonna look scary. It gonna feel scary. It might even be some cliffhangers. But just know that I'm with you. As long as you hold on to me, I'm gonna get you to the end. Probably not unscathed, but I'm gonna get you in the end with what I promised you. And that's all I need you to hold on to. That right there is what delivered me from even wasting my time. So trust and believe. If you violate me in this day, you have heavily violated the God's law. I'm the slingshot and the rocks chick. I'm waiting on the Lord say go, because I'm not scared of nothing, nobody, no size, they're gonna have to get me. You can't. You're not gonna murder nobody in my face. I don't care who you are. President, cop, whatever. Go ahead and load up then, because I'm not gonna do it. You shooting me and him. You kneeling on my neck and his neck. I'm not gonna let that happen in my face. And that's whether anybody believes it or not. But God, He's the only one that has that control over me now. Because when I had it over myself, baby.
Yeah.
So the fight with yourself. Truth be told, you know what I'm saying? The fight is with yourself. Even if you take it up on somebody else, it is still in yourself, and it is a deception used to divide.
Exactly. Toussaint, talk to me.
Everybody got a gun. Why I say that? Why I say that is because, and then some people got bigger guns than you.
Yeah.
So here I am, fighting my own fight. I am fighting my own fight. Just to let you know. So here's a person come to me with their own stuff going on, and I continue to say that because sometimes we react. It's the reaction you see. And sometimes, I think Rico said, you got to watch it because you got to know how who you're able to fight. You can't beat everybody. You can't whoop everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, so why do you approach the fight different when it's not the bigger person or the little person that you're really against? It's your own self. I'm my worst enemy. I can get into the ring or to a situation with somebody, and we're discussing something, and I've had some past experiences. Some of them were detrimental to my health. Now the rest of my life, I'm dealing with those things. Some of these things I hadn't gotten over. Here, Cassandra and Toya talk, and Cassandra says, it gets so bad. I knew my brother used to bite his finger. When he'd go to biting his thumb or bite his finger, ball up his pointing finger he'll roll it up and he'll bite it. It was on from that point on. Because he done had enough. Yeah. There's some people that you don't want tears to fall from their eyes. They're not crying because they're crybaby. You can push them too far.
Yeah.
You don't want them to I think that's probably more so like Minister Mill. If you see him with tears coming from his eyes, you about already just go ahead and dig a hole.
Yeah. We say start digging your own hole.
You don't went too far. Just go and dig a hole because you don't went too far. I commend those women and men of God that minister to people because you got your own life. And here everybody else comes with their problems and they want you to deal with them. But really, the part of dealing with it is because you have experienced this. And the fight that you have been able to fight within yourself, God has made you an overcomer. So that now you're able to let your light shine in a way that you can say, hey, I've been through that. Don't do that this way. Here's how I think that you should handle it. Not dictating, making a suggestion. This is going to work out if you have Don't fly off the handle. Calm down.
Mm-hmm.
Think about where you are and see how you can survive it.
Exactly. Let me go to Curtis. Curtis, what's on your heart? Adrian, coming to you next. Curtis.
Yeah, I'm right here. I had to hit the mute button, brother.
Okay.
Good gracious, right?
Man, look at this thing roll. This thing. Man, look at this thing rolling. Man, this thing is rolling this morning. Come on, we got to roll. Come on.
You know, this is just me, right?
Uh-huh.
I would rather have to deal with a psychopath than to deal with a sociopath.
Mm-hmm. And you say that why?
And I'll tell you what, because in my own opinion, now I could be dead wrong, and I'm probably 9 times out of 10 dead wrong because I probably got the two mixed up. But you know, a sociopath can blend into society, and you won't even know.
Right, they could be on a radio show.
Yep.
Their own personal. When Donald was talking about that deceptive personality or that deceptive behavior, sociopaths have such a deceptive personality that they have in almost in so many words completely deceived themselves into thinking that their patterns of behavior is normal. Right? And if I'm understanding it correctly, in a sociopath, and I could be wrong, I'm hoping somebody call in and can break this thing down, because that was the part of the DSM that I was like, man, all this looked like Swahili to me. But in the sociopath, all of the attributes of people like 45, Weinstein, what's the guy that they had murdered in the federal prison in New York? Epstein. All of the behaviors that these guys displayed, Spacey, without being labeled a sociopath, all of those behaviors fall in the realm of being a sociopath. Like when you look up sociopath, you see extreme narcissism, right? At least when you're dealing with a psychopath basically lets you know, oh, you're gonna die. Oh, I'm gonna kill you. And this is how I'm gonna kill you. But it seems to me like sociopaths get a feeling out of seeing you self-destruct before they kill you. It's like, right, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure you have, because you've been in this like all of us. You ever been in a fight with somebody, man? I got in a fight in Colorado one time, all right? And I'm fighting this guy, right? And I'm not the greatest of fighters. I'm a calculated fighter because I really don't like to hurt people. You see what I'm saying? But this guy decides that he wanted to fight me on this day. I don't know what was wrong with him. I don't know why he made that choice. So I boxing him right here. I boxing him up. Oh Lord, I'm tearing him up, right? But what I notice is every time I strike, this dude, he don't eat, but the look in his face is like he's enjoying me beating him up. It got so bad right here, I had to call my homeboy, because it was a group of us, and I had to tell him, like, man, but I won the fight. Man, please stop this, man. I don't want to beat this guy up no more, man. Please, man. Y'all take him home, man. Take him something, but I don't want this type of thing. Like, this is not me, but it dawned on me. I didn't know what it was then because I hadn't went to school. You know what I mean? I was fresh out of high school. But then it dawned on me, man, something is wrong with that dude.
Mm-hmm.
So from that day forward, every time I seen him, bro, I went in a totally different direction.
He changed your path. Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? He changed I was like, yo, hold on, son. He's up a handicapped dude. Like, he gotta be handicapped. Something gotta be wrong with him.
Mm-hmm.
But have you ever met somebody who, and this is for anybody in the panel, I would love to hear. Have you ever met someone who actually enjoys being hurt?
No.
Physically, emotionally?
I have not. I have not. I have not, man. Let me I'm opening it up. Anybody experienced something like that before?
Yes.
Lord. Who let it? I'm just listening.
Okay.
I just happened to look at you right here.
What you look at me for?
I'm listening.
No, don't.
Okay. I'm just listening, bro.
Okay.
Right here.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't. Go ahead, Leonard. You were saying something?
No, go ahead.
Sir.
Go ahead. You good? Oh, Lord.
No.
Mm-hmm. Leonard acting up over here. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Not knowingly, but yes, because anybody that stays in a abusive relationship, that may be that category.
Wow.
Because you stay there, and that's doing harm to yourself repeatedly, and just accepting it. Maybe perhaps because something happened in your life in the past. That you're still fighting that fight. You're not fighting the person. That's why you let him beat the hell out of you. I'm sorry. I'm in the corner.
Hey, Cassandra, get a seat ready for. Donna. Donna coming on with you, Cassandra.
I think Cassandra can relate because she sees people and talks and so does probably Curtis. See people like that every day, and try to talk them out of or into or try to get some resolve out of their lives because they won't stop letting people abuse them.
Cassandra?
You can stop that, but you refuse to because something causes you to hold on.
Exactly. Cassandra, what do you say to that? Minister Neil, coming to you next. Adrian, I see you got the definition, man. I appreciate that. Coming to you too. Cassandra? Cassandra, you there? Cassandra, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. Minister Neil, talk to me.
I mean, I'm listening to everybody, from what I'm hearing, we all pretty much are saying the same things that it could be a very toxic behavior when you're dealing with somebody who are going through the trials and tribulations of life. And I say that because, when you're going through something, and sometimes it's not a true roadmap to how to get out of that storm. But it is one, but I think that sometimes we don't lean towards that. It's because I truly believe that sometimes we're at a point in our life that we feel like we can do it by ourselves. And that's what I'm hearing. And from the reaction from what people are saying and things they're doing I was listening to the young lady speak about their previous relationship and some of the abusive relationship they was in. Again, I commend them women for being survivors because sometimes you need someone to tell the story to say, look, this is what not to do, or this is what I did. And we have to have some kind of formula. And a lot of times when you're dealing with these kind of situations, it can become very toxic. It can become it can be very overwhelming to that person. So you have to stand back sometimes. And I thank God that I don't respond the way I do anymore because that tells me that not only have God changed me, but I know that the ministry that He is planting in me is going to go forward, because sometimes people just need to listen. And I say that to you because my pastor who ordained me, the great Reverend Heath, John Heath, always would tell me, he says, 90% of being a minister is to listen. The other 10%, God has already worked it out. So it's up to you if you're going to, he'll get somebody else to do his will. So I think that we need to step back for a minute and really understand. I mean, I understand that we have our own limits and our tolerant level to what is said and what's not said. Again, for me, I always step back and I always remove myself from certain situations, because I know first thing I start doing in math, I haven't done anything, so let me leave. They're not talking to me. And I do that a lot. But at the same token, we are human. And I was making a joke about I'm a man, but that's fine. But at the same token, I have to always remember I have a responsibility. And when I took on this covenant with God, the responsibility has gotten much greater. And we have to step back sometime and really realize that we, even on these platforms, you have a responsibility.
Yes.
Even what you got your mouth, it's a responsibility. So we have to really be careful about what we're conveying to these people and let them know that I understand that you have low tolerance for foolishness. I have as well. But at the same token, I have to also remember who and what I represent. And that's that cross. And that comes first. My feelings don't mean anything when God said, hey, I told you to do something. This is what I asked you to do. And when he dispatches you, he dispatches you. So the compassion has to be there.
I've never heard anybody say, God said, well, how you feel today? Do you feel like going over there doing this?
I mean, bro, there's been times I mean, yesterday, everybody, you know what yesterday was for me.
Yeah.
I got texts yesterday about someone telling me that their family member had coronavirus. I had to go out of mourning and go into they being a preacher. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God said, you can't take off, bro. It's not something you need to take off on.
Exactly.
And that's why sometimes I think that we have to understand it. And with this virus, a lot of people are walking into the unknown. They don't know what's going to happen because they're frightened. Yeah. Because I explained to them, it's not a death sentence. It is that you caught the virus. But at the same token, you have to understand that. But again, I had to remove myself from being a daddy who misses his son to the preacher.
Yes, sir.
You understand what I'm saying? And how fair is that to me? I'm looking at God like, how fair is that to me when I'm trying to mourn my son?
Yeah.
And how fair is that to me? But again, I couldn't take that out on him. I had to step in and be a preacher.
Exactly. Let me go to Adrian. Adrian, what's on your heart, brother?
What's on my heart right now? Two things. I wrote it on my whiteboard here. Have y'all ever heard of the term cutters?
Adrian, you know your backdrop with the light coming through your backdrop is making your video dark.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on a second.
With the light, the light is
Give me 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Okay. Let me go to let me see who I get.
I heard of it right here.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, cutters. He said cutters, right?
Yes.
CUTTER.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Now,
I've heard of it.
Okay. Go ahead.
Cutters are people. Go ahead, brother.
No, he was just agreeing with
very familiar.
He said he's familiar with it.
Exactly. And see, you know it, brother, because it's in this younger generation of people about the age of maybe 30 or 25 and down, where they take razors and knives and they'll cut their arms in webs and designs and inflicting physical pain all up their thigh and up their leg. I knew a young lady out here, young girl. She was 20 when I met her. I met her and her boyfriend at the same time. They were together at the time. This young lady had been molested by her dad. Her mom would beat and molested. And then her dad, I think, went to jail for drugs and ended up getting killed in prison or killing himself or something. And the Arab side of their family blamed her and the mama for what happened to the daddy. So one of her ways of releasing pain and emotion of what had happened to her growing up from about, she told me, the age of 4 to about the age of 15, was she would cut herself and bleed. I mean, when you look at the girl, she's a real pretty girl. She's Persian. And you look at her arm, you can see all this stuff down her arm. And I asked her, I said, what is that? And she said, oh, I'm a cutter. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about what Kurt talked about earlier briefly, biting your tongue. Your tongue is one of the most sensitive areas of your body. It's very fragile, very sensitive. And when we think about emotions in life and what people have done to us, or what we have went through, whether it's a physical, like you might be born with a physical illness or sickness or something that's incurable, and you don't understand why you were born with it. You question God. You said, God, why was I born with whatever it is? Okay. That way of releasing that hurt and that pain comes in different forms. For some people, they are cutters. For others, they are alcoholics. For others, they have hate in their heart. It could be many, many different ways that's released or that is manifested to the outside world. Some people have strokes because they hold it inside them, or brain tumors or whatever it is. So when it comes to I'm not fighting you, I'm fighting myself. You know, I'm talking on the board over here. I really think that in many cases, and I mean, I can be a testimony and a witness to it's one particular person. I'm talking to my mom about this yesterday. They did something to me when I was innocent. Couldn't stand up for myself. Couldn't fight back. Because I promise you, in modern day, this person won't come near me. Not that I lay the fire on them, but they won't come near me. Because they were a bully. They were a bully. They wouldn't mess with nobody their own size or their own weight. They wouldn't mess with people they thought that were weaker than them or couldn't defend themselves. So there's something like everybody's saying on this show that you have to be an overcomer of. Because when somebody done did something to you and you're innocent, and then you come to the point where you can defend yourself, and the person never came and apologized to you, and they still a hellraiser, and they still keep doing stuff to inch at you like they used to bully you when you were physically weak. If the love of God and the power of God don't move, when I tell you fire is something serious. It's serious. Sister Toya, the other sister, the thug gangster, Tupac sister, hey, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Trust me. And it's very creative. Just as well as the light shine, the darkness is there. But God is real.
Now, Cassandra, he called you Tupac's sister.
Hey,
Cassandra, this man just called you Tupac's sister.
Yeah, a thug sometimes.
Cassandra, you there?
That's okay. No. Yeah, that's okay. Look, a friend of Tupac's sister said to us, but yeah, I've not said to her, but yeah, I'm really grateful for the transparency that I'm hearing, Raheem, because people really need to know that I can admit to who I was because I'm not that person anymore.
Yes.
And anybody that is listening that may be struggling in an area where they are actually hurting themselves or condemning themselves or throwing off on somebody else because of how they feel about themselves. I identify with that. Kurt knows clinically. We know what this is. You understand what I'm saying? Even Adrian's description. I deal with cutters because I actually, it's crazy we're talking about this because Thursday, Friday, Saturday I was in continuing education class for my Department of Behavioral Health certification for the state of Georgia. So we actually had a young lady on, beautiful, I mean, absolutely gorgeous, that was a cutter. She felt like, she wasn't pretty, like, her life didn't really mean anything. And this is real. There are people that actually hurt themselves because of how they mentally, something that has happened to them, they've been abused. Adrian used a great example. People that have been, a lot of my cutters have been sexually abused.
Yeah.
They've been sexually abused. And the pain is so great that in order to feel something, that's why they cut themselves. So it's very real, and this happens all the time. And we have to look for the signs and know how to help, how to reach out and help that person, because if not, they could literally kill themselves or kill somebody else.
Exactly. Rico, talk to me, brother.
What you want me to talk about, man? Y'all don't cover like a lot. What you want me to talk about? Send me in the direction.
Well, the cut is one thing that and we do have a lot of people. I had a friend that was a cutter back in Greensboro. Was in our middle school together, and she used to cut herself, all that. I said, why you do that? And I never could understand, because
well, it's a release, man. They defenseless. Everybody ain't got courage. Everybody can't kick no butt. You asked a question a second ago about did we ever meet anybody that they still take butt whippings, but every time you turn around, they're in the middle of something. Well, sometimes they don't know when to shut up, but at the same time, they don't like being picked on. They don't like being the punching bag. Society, man, we live in a cruel society. I know girls and men, women and men, girls and boys, just from youth to adult age, that somehow they fell in this pecking order of society. They fell in the pecking order of the hood. And for some reason, everybody feel like they the ones that they could pick on. And they know everybody feel like, everybody feel like I'm the one y'all can mess with. I'm tired of y'all messing with me. Now, you can whoop their butt, but they got to fight back, because what else they gonna do? Now, when you break them and they become hopeless, they might cut themselves to get that release or to see that blood. Now, when Cassandra said that earlier about seeing blood, man, I was like, man, I thought I was the only one who went through that, man. I used to be the same way, and I ain't changed. That's why I was glad you had that topic. Whenever, I put it to you this way, my calmness, my peace of mind, and my love for humanity and the next person, it's to benefit me, but it's to benefit them too. Because the next person don't know that when I fight, I try to kill you. I can't flip that switch off and play with aggressiveness. Either I'm gonna be cool and calm, or I'm gonna be aggressive, but I can't be aggressive just for the fun of it. That ain't fun to me. So I can't turn that switch off. That's why I don't wrestle and play. But guess what? There's some people out there I know I can't turn that switch on with. They'll bust my tail. But now, as a sociopath, if I choose to come at that person, I'm gonna put something in place to bait them up and instigate them to come try this. So I can part their head.
Yeah. Lord, my Jesus, tore you with a T.
Part their head. You get what I'm saying? Now,
you gotta say it again, Lord, my Jesus.
I mean, that's just the God's honest truth about it. I mean, and y'all might be laughing, but there's some people out here ain't laughing. When they see me, they think they see fear.
Ain't number one truth, brother. Ain't number one truth.
They see fear. And I mean broad day, like on Sunday afternoon when everybody else was going to church. I came and gave you dessert. So but at the same time, people go through adversity, man. People go through frustration. But the sad thing is sometimes those that come and take out their frustrations on others still have enough logic to know that they can't take it out on this man.
Exactly. Now let me ask you this: that being the case, with what you're saying that right there, because if it's one person, you could go the distance with them and do whatever you need to do. But this person here, you can't, because like you say, they might bust you behind. So my thing is this right here. Is there a level of control anger that's people in that situation that's there? Good morning, Shauna. Control anger.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's a level of control anger. That's my whole point. You know what I'm saying? People pick and choose who they want to take their frustrations out on. But when they truly frustrated, when they truly going through something, they don't care who it is. But when they picking and choosing who they can take their frustrations out on, they really ain't that mad. They just looking for somebody to get the ups on. They just looking for a victory.
So it's
they
not.
They're just looking for, okay, I'm on top now.
Yeah.
That's the bully.
It's not the same animal.
No, it's not the same animal. I mean, some people absolutely lose control, and it don't matter who it is. But if some people know who they can take their frustrations out on and who they can't. The next person one person might come up to you and crack a joke. Man, I don't feel like hearing that today. You better go about your business.
Yeah.
But then somebody 6'6" and 300 pounds come around. Hey, Spody Yodi. Oh man, there you go again. You crazy big dog. Oh, wait a minute. Why ain't you snap on big dog?
Yeah.
He just called you Spody Yodi. I'll call you Spody Yodi. I ain't got time for jokes today, Buck.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So people pick and choose. And when you are that victim of that person that does that, you know then that they got you at the bottom of the totem pole. And 9 times out of 10, what you gonna do? You go home. You might find somebody to retaliate against, or you might look for another situation to put that person on the spot. Come now, you know where they stand with you. So you might have to let them know, okay, you know what? You thought I was the one for you to take your frustration out on. So now I'm gonna try you and give you a reason to do it again, and I'm gonna show you I ain't who you thought I was. I was sparing you. What about that end of it? How about how many times we walk around and we spare other people from our frustration? I'm gonna tell you something. I spare people all the time.
Me too.
All the time, because some people just don't know what kind of pleasure I get out of seeing other people in pain when I know they are wrong, when they wrong people.
Good deal. Let's go to Shauna, and then after Shauna, we're gonna go to Toya with a T and Cassandra. But what we're talking about today is I'm not fighting you. I'm fighting myself. And people get so frustrated, and then they lash out to people that's around them and vent their frustration on that person, on the innocent people, if you will. But they're not fighting that person. They're actually fighting themselves. Shauna, what do you say to that? Unmute your line. Unmute your phone. There you go.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah. I think of scripture that says we fight not against flesh and blood. And a lot of times, if you don't really know, even when you're dealing with the enemy, and sometimes the enemy comes out on the outside, and then it ends up being offensive to someone else. And we just have to be mindful. And I think it's sometimes it's a sad commentary, because sometimes people are dealing with a lot of issues, a lot of things they're going through, and they vent their frustration on, like you said, innocent people. And I think we need to be more conscious of when we're going through something, and that's why you got to know you got to know who you're fighting. You got to know who you're fighting. You got to know who's fighting against you. So when you do come in contact with other people, you don't vent your frustration on other people.
But Shauna, is that fight not against, like I say, not against the person that you're fighting, but more so you're fighting yourself. You're fighting those inner demons.
Of course. But sometimes it spills out. It spills out on other people, and then it becomes a bigger problem, because now you're in a fight with somebody who's not in a fight with you. You understand? But then it prevents a fight. So I just think I don't know. This is a broad conversation, because it goes very deep. It goes spiritually. It goes knowing who you are. It goes I'm sorry, I'm driving, so y'all have to excuse me. And I got a lot going on right now. My mother is ill, so y'all pray for my mom.
Praise God.
But I understand. As a matter of fact, that's a prime example. Like, my mom is like going through some stuff right now, and it's like I gotta fight through this to let her know you're gonna be fine. You got to see another doctor, but I can't vent because I'm frustrated because I got to go see about my mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I can't vent my frustration on people that are around me. I got to know how to contain it, if that makes sense.
So basically, you're saying you can't beat up your DKM family?
Oh no, definitely not. Oh no. And that comes with maturity too. That comes with know who you're fighting. That comes with people. Sometimes got to put people around you too to be a light, and you just got to put a guard on your mouth, and you got to be more, and it's more conscious and more spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Know who you're fighting and what you're fighting. And it's a fight every day though. I mean, all of us are fighting something. Okay. But it's how we handle it.
Absolutely. Cassandra.
Yes,
Cassandra, could I get you to lead
yes,
us?
sir.
Could I get you to lead us in prayer for Shauna's mom? Yeah, I don't know her name. You might have asked her her name if you want to do that.
Vivian.
Okay. Can I get you to lead us in prayer?
Father, right now we just thank you for your goodness and your mercy. We ask you to cover us under your blood. And God, right now we are praying. We are coming to stand in the gap for Miss Vivian, God. You know all about her. You know her from the top of her head to the very soles of her feet. God, we ask you right now to touch every part of her body. The enemy has no authority over her. Now, we bind the hand of the enemy that would come against her body, mind, and spirit. God, we ask you to give her the fight that you have placed within her, God, through the Holy Spirit. We ask you right now to give her daughter, God, the strength to guide her mother, to help her through this tough time that she's going through. But God, we know above all that you are the beginning and the end, God. You are Alpha and Omega, God. You are our healer. You are Jehovah Rapha. We thank you, God, right now for touching this, God, in the mighty name of Jesus, God. And we bind every attack that the enemy would bring against her in the mighty name of Jesus. And God, it is so because your word says it so.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Amen.
I greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, sis. Toy, you with the T. Talk to us. What's on your heart?
Amen. Yeah, sending healing energies her way, man. God is a healer. So I hope she'll be better at some time. But no, every these topics, y'all listen, let me tell you something. Y'all know I'm all levels kind of crazy, honey. I'm just gonna ain't no category. I'm just gonna pick a category, and that's how you want to play it. I can go there too. That's why that's why I need the Lord. Because I'm still crazy on the inside. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really went nowhere.
No.
You know what I'm saying? God is giving me the strength to be able to control it now. You know what I'm saying? He just gives me the strength to be able to not allow the devil to deceive me and say, oh, look at that. Well, they did this, that, and the third. Even if it's something detrimental. Now the Lord will step in and say, look, let me tell you something. Even if it is detrimental, you do know if you do this, you could potentially mean you're going to be in jail for the rest of your life. And how you going to get my glory out then? You know what I'm saying? So it's not like some of these things are actually going to go away. It's like somebody said something earlier about control. And that's what it boils down to from the inside. It's about self-control. Even when it comes up to that psychotic break. Let me tell you something. I had got beat by a man with a belt. I was purple, blue, and green. But I remember when I was fighting this man, I said, Dad, if I tell him, I heard my father say, when you show a man how strong you are, they'll kill you because they're going to be mad because you're a girl and they don't know how to deal with that. And I remember not fighting as hard as I could because if I fought him in his house, we'd be in his house with the law. I could be in the bushes dead. Like I thought about a lot of things before. The only thing I thought about doing was just refraining him. And that frustrated him so much that he could not get a loose. He just eventually gave up. And when we finally saw it was purple, black, blue, and green, you know it was supposed to go down. But I remember thinking, girl, you're going to go away for the rest of your life. And I'm not going to run. I'm just going to sit, smoke my last cigarette. You know what I'm saying? But I remember walking away. But then when I come back, just let me get my stuff. You know, I couldn't get all the things just then. They just beat me, boy. I couldn't get all my stuff. Just let me come get my stuff back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you throw my stuff away? Oh, no. I don't even care no more. Let me get that back right there. You see that shiny one right there? Let me get that one right there. I'm going in. And I didn't care about the police. I didn't care about it being Christmas in the mall at his job. I didn't care. I'm for this to get done and I'm going to jail. Where we going, officer? Ma'am, you want to tell me what happened? Nope. Let go.
Nope. Don't want to talk about it.
Because control. You know what I'm saying? We allow and we push and sometimes we even talk.
Toya, did we lose you, Toya? I think we lost Toya there. We'll come back to it. Let's go to Kurt, then we're gonna go to Donna. Kurt, what's on your heart?
Well, bro, you know, I think a lot. If I was to state my opinion, a lot of the situation deals with specifically us, the people that's on this phone line right now, is we fully understand at this point what cross it is we are to bear, and whose cross it is we are to bear, and in whom to turn that cross over to when that cross gets too heavy. Now, oftentimes the masses try and carry the cross or bear the cross all the way to Golgotha's Hill. When the Bible, the scripture canons and text, no matter which one you read, when it speaks of that moment in human existence, none of them leave out the fact that that cross was not carried all the way to the hill by the person who bared it. So, you know, when I pondered in my mind, I thank God every day for allowing me to at least have some working understanding of there's no way in the world I'm going to be able to carry that cross all the way to its destination. But my Lord, my Redeemer, can bear that cross to its destination. So now I understand that when things get too heavy and too out of whack, that it's not of me to deal with that. I need to turn that over to God. You know, there's a scripture that talks about, I believe it's Abraham, when Abraham, when God told Abraham basically to sacrifice his son. And just when he was ready to do it, in his obedience, he was ready to do it. And the angel came and said, "Oh, no, we love the fact that you were obedient, but you don't have to do that. Look over there in the bush." So to me, it's a clear representation that throughout the years, we have taken ownership of our cross. And we know that, okay, we can turn it over. I'm gonna be like, I can't stand bullies, man. I hate them. I was bullied as a child. You know what I'm saying? I was bullied as a child, right? But in the midst of being bullied, God taught me a valuable lesson. One time I was being bullied, and the bully messed around and came out his mouth and said to me, Raheem, "Siggins, I'll kill you." Now, he didn't realize the weight of what he was saying. He didn't even realize the weight. He didn't even realize how I would take what he was saying. You understand? And before I knew it, when he made that statement, Raheem, it had done hit a switch. And before I knew it, I had done hit him with a good 4-piece, done swiped his knees, and then took my shoulder and put my shoulder dead in his xiphoid process. So when he hit that ground, he not only felt them 4 punches, but he felt all the life come out his body. And I'll never forget, one of my best friends said, "I guess you know what it feels like to die now."
Wow.
Because when he hit that ground, it was like I thought I killed him. I literally thought that I had killed him, because it was like his life went out of his body. He didn't have no air, you know. But what I realized then is that I can take a lot of things.
Yeah, wrap it up for me, Kurt.
But the one thing I cannot take is the threatening of my life, because my life is not yours to take.
Exactly. Donald Toussaint, talk to me.
You know what I thought about when we were talking? Pulpit bullying. Pulpit bullying. Sometimes, you know, you hear the preacher or whoever you call it, pastor, whatever you want to call it, him or her is not ministering to the people. They're fighting their fight in the book. Throwing slang.
Good observation.
Because they have forgot about the battle that the enemy's battle that they're fighting. They start lashing out at other folks because of what's going on in their lives. It happens every day. That's why people are not ministered to. People are functioning off their emotions and what has happened to them in their past. And they just decided to take it to the pulpit. And so now they not only cause or ignoring their own fight, they start starting battles with other folks.
Exactly.
It's amazing how this happens. It happens every day.
Every day.
I was listening at Kurt. Survival mode of people is amazing because when I thought about it, let me shut up. Peter, I thought about also. Peter was the kind of person that told the Lord, "I'll die with you. I'll fight with you. I'll go with you. I'll do it." He said, "You know what? You ain't even got yourself together." But when you get converted, strengthen your brother. And that didn't catch Peter till after Christ died.
Yeah.
You hadn't got it. He walked with him, he talked with him, but you know, he still was that fighter because you seen him when he cut the man ear off. He wasn't ready, but he sure talked a good game.
Oh yeah. Braggadocious. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
I like what Toussaint was talking about that. And it's just been a blessing. Because like I said, you know, a lot of people have gone through a lot of things. And me and my wife were talking about it the other day. Yeah, I've been through a lot of things.
Okay.
But you know, I'm so glad I'm here.
Come on.
Because now those things seem like old memories. Some of the things I don't even remember. See, me, I'm the type of person, I deal with hurt right then. Because I don't want it to fester. I don't like being in a bad mood.
Yeah.
You know, that's
right.
It's not my thing. So I try to be honest. And, you know, I can honestly say, not to brag or anything, but the same reason I would have whipped you at 17, I'll whip you at 50.
Yeah.
Because my constitution hasn't changed very much. You know, can't no man say I ever attacked him without a reason.
What's that song? Gangsta's Paradise. I never did.
I don't bother nobody. I've been like that all my life. I don't really bother nobody.
Yeah. He say
so 9 times out of 10, if we don't got into it, you wrong.
Yeah.
And you gonna catch this issue because there's nothing about me that I'm gonna let you continue to do. You're not gonna tell me every day you gonna do something to me. You know, it's, and when people have to understand that it's not so much about courage. It's about, if something doesn't feel right to me, I want it to stop and I want it to end.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that is what I'm going to dedicate my energy to. I've never been, because I've never been big on starting anything because I was always the smallest person.
But again, here go 2 of the lines. I'm just gonna pull 2 of the lines out of the song "Gangsta Paradise." He said that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone, but I never crossed a man who didn't deserve it.
No, I won't, because it's against my constitution to do that. I don't go after people just because. I will never. I really respect other people.
Yeah.
I mean, those rules that I was taught when I was a child, and that's the blessing on my life, is that I ain't never been out there like that.
Exactly.
You know, I've never had the opportunity to be doing things and act like it wasn't my fault or it was somebody else's fault. Or no, it was all me.
You did it.
Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah, it was all me all the time. You know, but you know, I gotta ask for forgiveness. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But you know, I don't fight because I can't stop. I mean, it's not good.
See, and that goes back to what I was talking about earlier. And I understand what y'all are saying, because and because my mama. Oh, here we go. Hey, Donald, you say confession? Here we go, confession.
It's the soul, brother.
My mama has always said about me, man. She said, "Boy, I love you, but I can't stand you when you get angry, because when I get upset, you know, there's no stopping point. If I don't run out of gas, that's just it. Ain't no stopping
I
point."
just really realized a lot of people weren't the same from dealing with just listening to other folks and being in counseling situations and things, to realize how different people really are. That just as it is so prominent for me to fight back, some people don't. So it's something about some people that don't. And you know, I try to understand it, but it's difficult for me. So I only understand it from a clinical perspective, like Kurt talks about it.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I understand that. And with all my understanding of a thing, there's still how I feel. I'm the type of person that Kurt was almost talking about. I'm very unbiased about things. You know, I just listen to the whatever. But I can be so cold. No feeling whatsoever.
No.
Because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, like, person acting a fool for a certain reason, let's figure it out, what's going on. If we can't, blah, blah, blah. And it may be that you just got to take some beatings because you don't know how to behave.
Linda said somebody need to take some beats, Lord.
Well, I'm just serious. If you running out here with the big mouth and you always in somebody's face and you think somebody owe you something, somebody gonna shut you down.
I can see you, Shauna.
I'm from the hood, bro. You don't get to run up on people like that.
Shauna, I can see you. Let me go. Hold on, Adrian. Let me go to the phone line. We got a caller. What's your name? Where you calling?
Good morning.
Bishop, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
And I'm glad.
Good. Good deal. Listen, you been listening to us? You know where we at?
Oh, yeah, I know where you at.
Okay. I'm not fighting you. I'm fighting myself. What's on your heart?
Yeah, that's true. Our biggest ally can be ourselves, or our biggest enemy can be ourselves. And I'm like, when I listen to that I refuse to give my strength to anyone. The Bible quotes, "As you think it, so it is." Somebody tell you you're stupid, and you believe that, then you are. I would never allow anyone to control me as a person. You can say what you want to say about me. That's your opinion. Mine is mine. Donna was talking about Peter, and even in today, I'm that Peter guy. Now, I don't question the Lord to his validity of who he is and what he's able to do. But sometimes I'll be like, God, why? Why am I going through this? Why is this happening? You know, a lot of injuries I sustained, incidents that occurred. But after I sit back and question and reason, then I keep moving. I ain't spending much time on nothing that's not going to be fruitful to me being successful in what I need to do, being who I need to be. I heard him talking about the young lady cutting herself, and I have a niece that did that. She felt like that was her way of releasing her, getting rid of her frustration. But I just ain't the kind of person who's want to hurt myself just for a hiccup because somebody else mad at me or said something about me. I love me too much. And that's where it comes in. Do you love you enough to consider who you are, to consider walking away from a situation, walking away from an abusive relationship, walking away from a church that have hurt you, walking away from folks that call themselves your friends. Yes, at the same time, feeling me in the back, talking about you like a dog. Sometimes it's a good me to be by myself than be around a whole lot of folks. And like I was preaching yesterday, I told folks that I'd rather be in the corner of the house than in a wide open space with a brawling woman or a man. I ain't got time for that food. Life is too short for me to walk around and be mad all day. Exactly. Mad at them, they don't like me. I don't care if they don't like me. I'm gonna say what I need to do and do what I need to do. So yeah. If anybody is hurting you, it's you hurting yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Adrian, you wanted to say something?
That's it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the conversation this morning. There was so much of what Captain Leonard said, Minister Leonard, that, you know, I mean, honestly, I can agree with it, you know? I mean, hands down, you know, when you're the type of person, and it's not so much that you're narcissistic or arrogant, but when you're happy in life and you just focus on yourself and you're doing your thing, then you got people that either bully you or they jealous or envious or they just full of mess within themselves, okay? And then they want to take it out on you. Sometimes they have to be touched with different types of fire, you know? Matter of fact, me, and I'll say this, the Bible says honest confession is good for the soul. I was talking to my mother about this yesterday, and I told her, I said, Mom, I said, look, it's a reason why it's a certain person I've asked you to never say their name in my presence. Because I know within myself that what that person did, why they did, and why they were behaving it. Honestly, God himself, the power of God and the love of God would have to stand in my presence and in my heart for me not to get real creative and handle them the way that they should be handled and need to be handled because of their actions towards me. So in order for me to let it go, like Bishop just said, I told my mama, I said, I got away from this person. I heard many years ago, long time ago, I heard a minister preacher, Ella Robinson. He preached that Bible verse saying, come out from among them. He said, if you got a brother or sister, whoever, friend, that don't want to do right, they are bullied, they doing bad things, they doing stuff they know they're not supposed to do in the home or on the job or in a relationship or whatever in the family, come out from among them and be ye separated, said the Lord. And y'all know the rest of that scripture. Focus and let God live in. And I told my mom, I said, Mom, I said, that's the reason why I don't deal with that person. Because I know that person is innately evil. And again, just like Brother Leonard said, I got to agree with him. I don't try to find fault in people. I try to help people because helping you is helping me. Helping me is helping you. But when you got a person that's just innately evil and dirty and spiteful and hateful because their life is miserable, they need to be handled accordingly. But again, we got God. Exactly. And I'm trying this.
The battle is not mine. The battle is not mine. It belongs to
like this for me.
Yes, sir. Minister Neil, talk to me.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was listening. I want to first tell the dear sister that we are praying for your mother, and that we're praying for her speedy recovery, and we need to address that as well. But again, I'm hearing everybody speak about. It's funny. I hear everybody speak about their feelings about what they would do and what they would tolerate. But I'm here to tell you that if God called you, you're going to tolerate more than that. So we have to step back for it and remove ourselves from all this, what I'm not going to do. And when he step in, and like I told you when we were talking about that last week, I believe we were talking about the two thieves that was on that cross.
Yes.
And we were talking about how God was in the middle. One said, if you the Christ, save yourself and us. And the other one said, who are you talking to? This is God. He hasn't done anything. My point I'm making to you is that when you're in the world, God still embodied himself between you and you being saved. And what the aftermath of that is that you can be on that other side saying, I used to do these things. And these things used to make me upset. But look what God has brought me to now. That I can sit back and say, you know what? I can tolerate you a little while longer because he tolerated me in my mess. He tolerated me when all my junk. So we have to step back for it. And it's really thinking about, say, who are we representing? I hear everybody say, what I'm not going to do. There's a lot of things that, as a man, I won't allow. But at the same token, when I'm walking away from you, I'm praying for you. I'm praying. I say, thank God for Jesus that I'm not who I used to be. That they can shout to the blood. I ain't go upside your head. So guess what, God? I want you to pray for. I need some strength to deal with this person. We don't call on the power of God anymore. I'm listening to all this. What I'm not gonna do. But what about what you will do in His name? Sometimes you're gonna have to go down in them trenches. Sometimes you're gonna have to go down in that lion's den. Sometimes you're gonna have that Red Sea experience. And you're gonna have to make a decision. And God said, I've equipped you to go across that water. So again, I ask everybody, what are you gonna do? So you keep saying about this fight. Sometimes that's what God needs. God needs you to get in there and fight for him. Sometimes God needs you to come in there, and that's why we call intercession. That's why they tell you to pray for me. Pray, and I've been so many prayer meetings when I hear the old saints say, pray my strength to the Lord. When we gonna do it? When are we gonna do it? We talk about all this stuff about what we not gonna do. Sometimes you need to step back and say, wait a minute. Let me go forward and let me just pray for this person. This person don't really know what they're going. God can hang on a cross and tell you, say, God forgive them because they know not what they do. And we're sitting here complaining about what somebody said to you. Help me, Holy Ghost. Help me, Holy Ghost.
Good deal. Good. Hey, Curtis, mute your line for me, Curtis. You got some background noise coming. Mute your line for me, brother. Talk all on you. There you go. Good deal. Going in this order right here. We're going Rico, Cassandra, and then Shauna. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, you know, I'm the type of person, you do me good, I do you better. Do me bad, I do you worse. You can have it your way. Like Burger King, I'm gonna give it to you. Whatever make you feel comfortable, but I ain't no stuff starter neither. But you know, in some ways you can take this conversation and say, well, you know what? I'm not just fighting for you. Just like you said, I'm not fighting you, I'm fighting myself. But sometimes, you know what I'm saying, we not fighting, you know, we're fighting for people and also fighting for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I want to switch it up a little bit because there's only so far we could go with that. You know, and with the way that the conversation was going, we pretty much knocked it out the park already. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, people gonna take things out on you. They're gonna take their frustrations out on you. You know, it's up to you to be able to handle it a certain way. Either you're gonna retaliate, you're gonna cower down, or you're gonna be a crisis manager. You're gonna be able to understand, you know what I'm saying, not to retaliate because this person is coming from emotion. So now I want to take it from the negative part of it. You know what I'm saying? I want, you know I ain't got the right to do that. It's your show, you know, but I just, you know, feel like somewhere we could go around and talk about now, you know what I'm saying, how sometimes we do things for ourselves, but we do things for others too. Like maybe not retaliate. Maybe me not addressing or retaliating when somebody does that isn't just beneficial to me, but it's beneficial to them too. But maybe they're thinking, you know what, he backed down because he was scared. Nah, buddy, I'm trying to save you from being on a t-shirt. I'm trying to save your mammy from crying. You know what I'm saying? But we just, man, we have to be mindful of our human aspect, man. This emotion that every human being goes through, man. I hope I could get to the point one day where I could just call on God every time and feel like that's going to be the overwhelming factor that's going to push me in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? But everybody doesn't have that. Everybody doesn't have that religious aspect. Maybe they're fighting. Maybe they ain't fighting the religion. Maybe they fighting themselves then. I don't know. But we just have to be very mindful of that, man. That people going through emotional situations, you know, they take their frustrations out on certain people. Some people, it don't matter who you are. They really that frustrated. They don't care how big you are, how small you are. They're just gonna take it out on you. Then some gonna pick and choose. some gonna pick and choose who they pick with, or who they retaliate against, or who they display their emotions against. So really, like I said, man, it could go in so many different directions. I'm gonna end it right now. I don't want to keep on rambling, but we already knocked it out the park a few times, man. Y'all did, y'all
good
really
deal, good deal.
hit it out the
Sandra,
park this morning.
what's on your heart? Shauna, coming to you next.
Yeah, I'm grateful for the conversation, and as for me, y'all know I'm gonna tell my story. I ain't trying to tell nobody else's story, how they did it, when they did it, why they did it. I can only tell my story and speak my own truth. So where I was then and where I am now, it's two different places, but the propensity for me to have a flashback is there when people do. So I never say what I'm not going to do, because if you push me hard enough, no telling where I would go with it. But I know that recently I did get angry enough that I actually put my thumb in my mouth and started to bite. And I like, okay, no, wait a minute. Get your thumb out of your mouth. You are not going to do this. And I pulled my thumb out of my mouth, and I did not, get angry to the point of hurting my own self. But I'm being honest, because I'm not pretending like I've apprehended.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ever try to pretend like I've apprehended. I am in a daily fight where I'm trying to keep my flesh under subjection. That is something for all of us. Unless you have just gotten there where you don't have any struggles, that is a struggle for me. If you push me hard enough, I really have to go into a place with God where I don't come back at you. Because that's just that old man trying to come back up. If you never have those experiences, then God bless you. But I do have those occasionally.
And see, the beautiful thing about what you said, and I don't want people to miss it, is you constantly fighting daily. And somewhere I heard a song where it say, they didn't tell me that the road would be easy. Didn't tell me.
Give me a little bit of it.
Want to sing a little bit, bro?
Give me a little
want
bit.
to sing a little bit of it?
Give me a little
man,
bit.
Man, they ain't ready for that. They ain't ready. They ain't ready. Go ahead, Donald. Go ahead, Donald.
Do what?
I thought one that you singing. Who was that singing just now?
I used to get so tired of
I was hitting it real quick, man.
Who was that?
I don't know. Hey, I can do it if y'all want.
Go ahead, Donald. Give us a little bit of it. Give us a little bit of it.
Oh, Lord. I don't feel no waste time.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
I'm too far from where I started from. That's enough.
Okay. Hey, Sean, hold on. Wait, hold on. And now Curtis want to chime in. Hold on. Let's do this thing. Let's be serious about this thing. Shauna, give us a little bit.
Kurt, the musical man.
Shauna, give us a little bit.
I was thinking, and then a lot of you guys were saying different things, and I was kind of going back in the memory bank of my memory of all the things I've been through. But someone had mentioned Peter earlier. Peter couldn't strengthen his brother until he was endued with the power of the Holy Ghost. And we cannot deal with anything until we are endued with the power of the Holy Spirit. It takes the Holy Spirit to help us process what is going on in order to know how to fight. I went through something so drastic after my husband died, and my children, I was getting persecuted by the church. I went through a lot, and my children couldn't understand why I was not leaving the church, why I wasn't retaliating. But what they failed to realize at that moment, the Holy Spirit, God was keeping me. And through that, the Lord was saying to me, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. He said, Shauna, I will repay. He said, you just endure and you continue to be who you are. Do not let them change you, who I've created you to be. He says, I've given you power to know how to handle yourself. So I had to really pray fast, ask the Lord to guide me. I went through a lot of persecution. But when I tell you God showed up, he showed up on my behalf. Yes. And he got the victory because I handled it in a way that See, sometimes people, we're fighting demons, we're fighting devils, and the devil will use anybody he chooses to, who will allow them. And I had to have that knowledge to realize that, hold on, this is not the person, this is the enemy that's fighting against me. So you got to know who you're fighting and who's fighting against you. And I tell you, none of us that's on this line cannot fight the fight unless the Holy Spirit endure us with the power to know how to fight. And sometimes fighting is not retaliating and doing what you do to me. Sometimes the greatest fight is not doing anything and allowing time to handle it. Because time will handle it. I guarantee you. They say karma, it will handle it. And I'm a witness of that. And I just only be responsible for me. They say with every action, there's a reaction. God corrected that with me. He said, Shonda, with every action, there shall be a response. It take a response for you to think about, process it, then know how to come at how the situation is. And I've learned something in my journey with this walk with the Lord, that God will fight your battles. Exactly. And even fight the battles within you dealing with yourself. Paul says, though the outward man perish, the inward man is being renewed day by day. That means even though I'm fighting exterior stuff, he's renewing me. He's making me better. He's making me, stand more for like Christ. And, it's a constant fight because our flesh, we don't walk in the spirit always. We walk in the flesh. And so we're fighting the old man, and we're fighting, coming into the new person that we're supposed to be. So it is a constant fight every day you wake up. But when you depend on the Holy Ghost, and I'm saying, y'all, when you depend on the Holy Ghost, he will fight the battle. I've seen the Lord, and I'm going to end with this. I was in business with some people that really took advantage of me, took a lot of money from me. And the Lord told me not to do anything. He told me not to even seek legal counsel, nothing. He told me I will handle it and I will repay you back everything they took. And God did that. But not only did he do that, but the persons that took from me, they lost everything. And one man lost his life. And now, did I wish that? No, I didn't wish any of that. But God told me, he said, I'm going to handle it. And he handled it. So I have learned that I have really learned to let the Lord fight my battles, because the battle is not mine.
Exactly.
It's not mine.
Now, how that song goes? Give us a little bit of that song, Shauna.
What song?
I don't believe he's bought me this.
I let somebody else take it.
You can't.
I let somebody else take it. No. My voice is off this morning.
Okay. Got Minister Neil beside. He clapped his hand like he want to sing a little bit.
Mr. Neil, go ahead.
No, you don't want him to sing. Lord Jesus.
But let me just say this though. When she was talking, I was just thinking about what God put in this place in my heart with Exodus 14 and 14. When he told Moses, he said, if you be quiet, I'll fight your battles for you. And that is so true. Good God from Zion. That is awesome. That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes we need to step back. See, sometimes we disqualify ourselves for saying what we can't do. When all we got to do is lean on the everlasting. Just lean on him. Just grab. Just let him. He's not going to change. We too busy trying to be. I get to fight. Trust me. We all fight. I fight every day. I'll have people say things to me. I mean, I look at people who degrade me for having an education. I'm talking about literally was offended. But I said, look at God. Not only he moving, but he gave me a 4% bump in my job.
Yeah.
But I had to be quiet. I had to be quiet because I wasn't gonna let these folks block my blessing. So again, we got to be smart about this thing, because the enemy will trick you. He will trick you. So we can sit back and say, oh, I can't do this. You can do anything. If you can act a donkey, you can act safe. Exactly. Trust me when I tell you.
I'm gonna tell you a new word my son told me this weekend, and I used the word. Now, he said, they're just being an old Jack Donkey.
Oh Lord, old Jack Donkey.
He said Jack Donkey.
You know what?
Weekend.
You know what?
What?
You said a new word. I gotta say something, man. Cassandra was one of them good schools. She used some big old words for pensity and and all kind of big old fancy words like that. I said, oh Lord, she used the word propensity. Propensity. I said, oh my God, she talking fancy.
But I can definitely say, like what Shauna was talking about, one of the things that I do now, and I used to think it was, I'm just procrastinating. But you ain't always gotta respond right away.
Yeah.
Like with some issues I don't want to be bothered with at the time, but they have to be dealt with, I'll say, it's not today. For some reason, I'm not. It's just not today.
Yeah.
And it'd be issues I'm like, man, I need to take care of this. But like she said, I'm going to pray about it. And I'm going to let God work it out. Exactly. And then it may be something that I'm worried about. And how about when I do decide to deal with it, I get there and it's done. It was just as easy. I could have maybe done it when I first thought about it. But for something about it, I wasn't ready. And it becomes so much easier to do things that way when you just set that, whatever it is, to the side for a minute and pray about it.
Come on.
And then all of a sudden, God will work it out. And then when you pick up the phone, everybody's smiling and everything is fine. Ain't took 5 minutes. Took 5 minutes. Yeah. But for some reason, it just bothered me at the time. But when I gave it time,
come on,
to settle down a little bit, like Shauna was saying, God had already fixed it. God had already went before and fixed the issue. Things when I just would have been livid about. I was like, you know what, Holy Ghost, I'm too upset right now to be talking with anybody else about this.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
So I'll set that aside. And I'll just think about it and I'll just pray about it for a while. And then before you know it, you go back to it and find out God done already took care of it.
It's already done.
And so, I try to do things that way. It's not trying, because one, that's what sometimes folks want you to do. They want you to react right away to something. And that's when they get you. And it's like, people will say, like, my wife is so funny, and we be talking about don't know arguing, and she'll just argue with him for what? You're not, no. Why would you argue or start mess with him?
Yeah.
When you know he can do A, B, C, and D. Just let it alone.
Let it go.
We don't argue because it's not beneficial. It's nothing can come from it. So that's why when people say, well, you mean tell me y'all ain't never got into it in 21 years and all. Well, it's never been a point of ours to get at one another like that. So you know what I used to laugh. We was laughing just this weekend. I was like, boy, you the only person I cut any slack, and you don't almost tighten that cord. And she'll just look and start laughing. And she was like, well, I sure do appreciate the courtesy and all.
Exactly.
It's because she could be just as mean and snap back like a turtle if she wanted to, But at the end of the day, what is it? What is it about?
No.
Why we gonna be sitting there mad with one another and got to live with one another?
Exactly.
It just never made sense to us.
Everybody walking around frowning. Everybody walking around frowning.
Everybody mad and frowning. And then pretty soon or later you're gonna have to, but what is you gonna eat?
Toy, you with a teeth. And hey, Curtis, I think that's your line. Man, miss your line for me, brother. I'm coming to you just a second. Toy, you with a T, talk to me.
Raheem, my line is muted.
I thought it was your line.
You still honeymooning?
Oh Lord, yeah, you
still honeymooning?
Yeah, you. Toy, you with a T, talk to me.
Once you start fighting with yourself, you'll be able to see where the real fight is. And oftentimes it ain't the same team. How you gonna fight the same team? How you gonna get ahead if you're on the same team? You fight the same team. That's not the fight. The fight is with the enemy. And the enemy's biggest job in deception is to cause confusion.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
You need to understand that if y'all are considering being a team, then the goal is not to be against each other because you ain't gonna win.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is where it all boils down to. This is, again, like what I was talking about earlier. I had to be willing to let God allow me to see that. And if I really want what God got to offer, I got to be willing to be truthful with Him first. And He allowed me to see where the real fight is. There were times where I did thought the fight was with men because of what I've been through. But no, the fight was with me and my mind and my thought pattern.
Yes.
And that's what God had to tap through and allow me to see. Now, the experiences is what I overcome to be able to tell people, you know, you might feel justified in it, but is it worth it? You know what I'm saying?
Is it worth
Because sometimes we want to say, oh, well, I was justified in doing it, but is it worth it?
Yeah, exactly.
Is the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like what we're supposed to be getting at these ages, 40, 45, 50, is learning to self-control. Because there are things that's going to happen. It's going to make you mad. They're going to be, they don't obey all of God's commandments. Who going to obey all yours? And you think you're the only one that got vengeance. God got vengeance too. And if he could fall back, so can you. You know, and that's we know that. We know what we dealing with when we getting ready to deal with the Lord. That's why most of us don't do it, because I want to smack you on your mouth when you get smart at me to show you how big bad I am. Just because you slept on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes secretly you don't want to admit it. You ain't got to.
Yeah.
But you like being the way that you are. That's why you don't go to him, because you know you can feel in your core he's going to change you. And it isn't until that point to where you don't want to run no more and you got to surrender that he comes in one fell swoop and change everything in your life. And he gives you the strength to, yes, be able to deal with losing it all. Yes, be able to see the trick around the corner. You know, if you would have reacted like that, you could have been the next George.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's very important, especially as we get older, and not for nothing, we have to talk to the youth and express it to them too, because you know what? We learn to be like this. We wasn't like this when we was younger, so stop acting like they're going to do something different. Just share with them your experiences and the possibilities, because they got to live with it. But just to know that I can identify with you, that you were once like me, that you did feel that anger and you did make it through. Did, you know, get those brushes might be just enough to help them have multiple options, because, you know, they might not know what else to do because that's all they're around, you know. So just be willing to be honest with the youth when they get ready to make their mistakes, instead of coming at an angle as if you ain't never been that angry before.
Exactly. Rico.
Yo, you know, I like the direction we went in. I sort of went off track a little earlier, man. But you know, I'm gonna take that same subject that you came up with. You said, I'm not fighting you, I'm fighting myself, right? In some situations, the person that's saying that is telling that to a person that's asking them why they won't let them love them. Why you fighting my love? Why you fighting my help? Why you fighting my attention? Why won't you receive me? And that person is telling them, I ain't fighting you. I'm fighting myself because I ain't ready to be loved. I ain't right to be loved just yet. I ain't in the right place. You know, so you know, and like I said, I was glad it went in that direction, but then it could have went in a totally different direction too. That's actually what I want to bring up the last time. I'm like, you know, sometimes it ain't us actually telling somebody that I'm not fighting them physically. Maybe I'm fighting not receiving their compassion, the love that they got to give. Because a lot of people got that. Some people fighting God.
Yeah.
I might be. You know what I'm saying? So I hate that I waited till a minute after the show's supposed to end to bring that up, because we could have went in that direction. But you know what I'm saying? It's a good show, man. And I'm gonna say it before Raheem said. Everybody share this show.
Good. Good day. Hey, y'all make sure y'all do it, man, because people need to hear this here, man. People need to hear this because there's a lot of people that's trapped. Let me go. We're gonna do a speed round real quick. We're gonna get on out here. We're gonna go Adrian, Bishop. I'm gonna call on a couple other people, and we're gonna get on out of here. So Adrian, quickly, brother.
I'll do it real quick. John 16 and 33. I won't sing for you, although I wanted to. These things have I spoken to you, that in me ye may have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation. Be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. The situation that I most have been talking about today on this show, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. When I gave it over to Jesus, or Jesus came in, he has filled me with a group and groups of people that we got so much love towards each other. I feel like my heart and my blood is in theirs. And it's not that we don't have disagreements or ups and downs and don't see eye to eye, because you know we people, we have differences, but now,
Adrian, I said a quick version now.
Yeah, quick. I'm gonna wrap it up. We got so much love, and it filled that void that's been missing and that was taken and stripped from me by the devil, and I feel encouraged.
Absolutely. Now, Bishop, I know you're a preacher, but give us a quick version, Bishop. Come on, the quick version.
We ain't gonna do right.
He ain't gonna do right. He ain't gonna do right. I told you he ain't gonna do right. Okay, let me see. Is it still? Do we still? Bishop?
I ain't say he. I put a we on there. We ain't gonna do right on this show.
We just lost Bishop. Let me go to Curtis. Curtis. Oh Lord, Curtis, a quick version, brother. Go Curtis. Again.
Now you know.
Oh Lord, here we go. Go ahead.
The quick version is, after 30 plus years doing wrong, the one thing that I've learned personally through therapy and so forth and so on is to accept my God-given karma. Just accept that. That's what it is. So, and learning or understanding what your karma is, you'll find that a lot of the problems and situations that you may have, God is already dealing with that.
Yeah.
You just got to go through it from the aspect of your karma. It's karma. That's all I got to say, man. I mean, I love y'all.
Hey, love you too, brother.
It's always a spirit lift to be with y'all. Today I was able to be with y'all for the whole show. But I love y'all, man, and God bless y'all. God keep y'all.
Yes,
grant
sir.
mercy.
Likewise. Yes, sir.
And healing. And I'll holler at y'all later.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cassandra Green, the thug pastor. What would you like to say?
Jesus wept.
Whoa. Okay.
That's the short version.
That's it. Good deal.
That's it. That's all.
Mr. Neal. She said, that's it. That's all.
Hey, again, I want to say it was a pleasure being on this podcast this morning, and I just want to thank everybody who I haven't said good morning to, and to everybody have a blessed week. And again, this has been a very enlightening and a very prosperous podcast. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Rico.
Hey man, I need my money too, bro.
It's in the mail, man. I sent a carrier pigeon. Rico.
Yeah, to all the listening audience out there, man, just go out and be a peacemaker and spread love, joy, and happiness.
Good deal. Captain Leonard.
Hey man, it's been good. When Pilate saw that he could not prevail at all, but rather that a tumult was rising, he took water and washed his hands before the multitude, saying, I am innocent of the blood of this just person. You see to it.
Bishop, you still on the line with us? Bishop ain't on the Bishop. He was still on the line. I think the Bishop done hung up. Your Bishop hung up. Okay. But listen, we're going to get out of here. Let me go to Toya with a T.
I'm still trying to figure out what lit the captain of. And even Curtis pauses is long. Why are you gonna put Kurt Booker the last? But I know all you. But listen, we all need the Lord. We all need to try to just do better, man. My way, not your way, your way, not my way. Everybody got their own narrow path they're trying to get through to the Lord, man. So just do the best that you can on a daily basis, man. Just try to show love, and just try to be. Look at some people, and when you see it ain't right, try not to be that not right, man. You know what I'm saying? Just try to be the better you for the people around you, for the people that see you, and don't be scared to grow together.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because we are all in this together. Even if you hollering at your husband and I'm hollering at my mama, the goal is we need to stop hollering at folks.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's try to just walk with each other, correct on each other. Just get up every day, try to be good people, love each other. And I love y'all. Y'all need anything, y'all know where to find me on social media or right here on DKM Radio.
Exactly. Now, did you say Curtis pauses is long?
I did.
Okay. Toya, I'm going to put you on the spot, sister.
I love you, sir.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Toya. Pray us out.
Put me on the spot?
Pray us out.
Oh, wow. Well, Father, you know what? Thank you for another glorious day, Lord. Thank you for just bringing things to the forefront because we might not know it, but you know what people need, Lord. You know how we need to get there. You know how to get people closer to you.
Only thing we trying to do right now is I feel like we're all on board just trying to be your vessels and appeal to the people that we need. And we hope and think that we've done that today, Lord. Continue to give us your strength, your mercy, your praise, and your protection, and continue to rise us up to be able to do what is your will. We thank you. We love you and your mercy, glory, and praise. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. And what's going on at
Amen.
What's going on at 3:00 today?
Something important is going on at 3:00 today.
What is it?
But guess what?
What is
It's going on the 7th.
On the 7th? What did they do the 7th?
Today. The deadline for voter registration.
Oh, no, I'm already registered. Ain't got registered.
That's right.
Okay.
If you're not,
yeah, I'm
we
registered.
was talking about all this stuff first hour of the show.
Mm-hmm.
You register to vote here in Georgia today, so early voting gonna start on the 14th.
Exactly.
So you'll be ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
So now, while you on your way,
yes, sir. Watch this. Watch you gonna tie it together. Watch this. Watch this. Watch
if
this, y'all.
you
Watch
did not get a chance to hear this show in its entirety,
Mm-hmm.
log on to www.dkmmediagroup.com at 3:00 Eastern today.
Exactly.
And you will definitely be able to hear all the great things and information these people have provided today.
Absolutely. Now, I need to ask Cassandra a
So
question.
look, I got a question, Raheem.
Go ahead. What's your question?
Did y'all hear about this certain electoral college that was supposed to be voting again on December 14th as well?
No. What is that?
Okay. Well, when I find the information, I'm going to post it to y'all page. Y'all look out for that. I just heard that like 2 days ago. I'm going to do some research. So, Raheem, I'm going to try to shoot you that info.
Get that to me.
Later.
They want a special session now to reappoint electors in the state of Georgia. But our secretary, I think it was the governor actually came out and say, well, that's really not how the state runs that.
Yeah.
So at least, Dennis the Menace stood up to that.
Yeah. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Cassandra, we got to get out of here.
Sir.
We got to get out of here. But let me ask you. I know you looked at the runoff debate. I know you looked at as much as you could.
Why? I was trying to stay at peace today. Why?
Let us stay at, see how that voice changed? See how her voice, she about to go in and really.
Here comes the thug pastor. The thug pastor is waking up. The thug pastor is waking up. But listen, I need to know something.
Don't go to the corner the last few minutes.
Exactly.
Of the show.
The lady Leffler. The lady Leffler. I guess that's I'm saying her name right.
Leffler the Heffler.
Did she did she do anything right? Did she do anything during that debate?
Can I curse when I say it?
Oh no,
if I can curse, I'll give you that.
No.
If you let me curse, I'll give an answer.
No, you wasn't gonna be able to do it.
No,
that was a bunch of malarkey. She was so. I mean, let me tell you something. God, oh God, help me. Please ask me questions like that, man. I ain't answering. I'm not.
Huh? Come on,
you better leave Cassandra alone. Leave her alone.
We got everybody listening.
Yeah,
everybody is listening. Cassandra, they're at the edge of their seat. They want to hear what the thug pastor is gonna say about this.
No, really. I mean, okay, just very, very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
She sounded like an idiot, and the fact that she disrespected a man of God the way that she did.
Yeah.
Every time she spoke, she said radical, socialist, all that stuff. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And she said it every time. Somebody programmed her to say that.
Yeah.
And she said it every time. She was totally disrespectful, disrespectful. And this man really tried. He asked a question, but even when he asked a question, he did it in a respectful way.
Yeah.
He was totally disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you get with a woman that's worth over $500 million, and she feels like she's privileged to have that office. She did not win an election. She was appointed to an office by somebody that she won't even support right now against 45 Dumbo.
Yeah.
So I'm done.
And Cassandra,
stop laughing.
Don't
laugh at me.
I need to know one thing, Cassandra. If you afford me this information before we get out of here, because we gotta go. It's 12 minutes out. How do you really feel?
Whatever. Whatever.
Good deal. Good deal. It is now 10:12. We're about to get out of here for today, man. I'm not even gonna go to Toy with a T with this right here because I'm gonna tell you something. She got a whole. She'll put out a scroll and start reading off the scroll about how she feel about this whole situation. So Toy with a T, we're not gonna bother you right now, but we know how you feel. Oh, she's quiet.
And I'm glad because I got the tea to spill. You don't know.
I know. Already know. Listen.
Holding that little dog.
Oh Lord, Linda say you're holding the little dog or something.
Holding that little dog.
Outside. Go on, look out the window, man. Go on, look out the window. Go on, look out the window. Go on.
Hey, Raheem.
Yes, sir.
If you can, I want to give everybody a heads up to check out CNN tonight. Anderson Cooper, man, they're gonna be talking about the COVID vaccine and the map from my hometown of Hobson City. She's gonna be on there. You know what I'm saying? Which is sort of a big deal, being that the town that I'm from originally is like maybe a population of 700 or 800 people. So that's a real big thing that she's gonna be on CNN. But it really affects the whole Black population. I'm pretty sure she won't be the only one on there.
Yeah. And tonight, what time is it? 7 o'clock?
7 o'clock. Well, maybe 8 o'clock y'all's time on Anderson Cooper.
I definitely check it out. Definitely check that out. Listen, y'all, it's time for us to get out of here, man, because we'll keep going, and we like the Energizer Bunny. We'll keep going and going and going and going and going. But listen, it's 10:14, time for us to get out of here. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Radio and the Morning Glow to be a part of your morning. Know that we're here every day from Monday through Friday from 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock. As you can see, sometimes we go over just a little bit. Sometimes we don't start at 7 o'clock. Hush your mouth, Leonard.
I'm not even gonna comment.
There you go. But thank you for joining us. It is now 10:14. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. You all have a great day. Love somebody. You just might find some love in return. Y'all have a great day.